it is going to be just to be able to teleport out of spawn there, as both these two teams looking to start it off. As with that symmetry, you're going to be able to get a little bit closer, get positioning on this point here, as Chris is going to go super low. They're going to have to force out Ice Block, and now the rest of OWSwitzerland looking to capitalize and take them down early on. But right now, no one's fallen quite just yet, and SXJ is going to be the one to fall down first. Trey's going to come back, though. Phalix out of the fight in response, though, so still there is an opportunity for either of these two teams to take control of this. It's going to be Overwatch Reforged taking the first control point for the moment, but Abstract finding Chris out with a headshot with those icicles, now allowing the rest of OWSwitzerland to come onto the point and look to take this back, as SXJ's come back from spawn, finds 3 picks.
You can see a bit of percentage did end up going to Overwatch Reforged, but yeah, I mean, it's the fight that matters, and at the end of the day, you can also see the ult charge coming in favor of Swiss. Yes, I mean, you know, with the May coming in at 70, Sigma at 80, and Baps almost got his amplified matrix, sorry. So that we can see how the poke's going to come in, and he's going to try to get that to 100%. Probably that's going to be the next move.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with you right there, as the rotations come out. Monkey Boy very low. The Flux is going to come through. It is going to get on to Chris there, but it's not going to be enough to get the damage, as that they're going to be able to force out that Ice Block. Now with the Sound Barrier coming in on from Remix as well. It's going to just buy some more time, but they don't have that healing, as Phalix is going to fall down here to Tread. The rotation was not quick enough from Overwatch Reforged. They do lose Tread in the meanwhile, and now they've lost Luca, so this is a perfect opening for Overwatch Reforged to come back into this fight, unless there's a hero play coming in from SXJ, as Ducio's found out Monkey Boy as well. There's still a chance for this hold to come in from Swiss Yes here.
The fight was completely turned on its head. What we thought was actually going to go to Overwatch Reforged there, with just the sheer amount of map control they had in that fight. They somehow were able to give that up, and Swiss, yes, just able to take back that fight and basically take back the point.
Yeah, as now we're getting into the later stages here. The fight should be Overwatch Reforged fight to win. They've got the advantage going into this, and the Amp Matrix is going to come out from Phalix early on, but Abstract going to be using the Blizzard on to the opposition here, with the Overclock coming in from Starwings. Abstract looking for those long-range shots, not going to find anything quite just yet, with the Sound Barrier coming in from Ducio. Flux comes out, but it doesn't find anyone here just yet. Tread's trying to stay alive with that kinetic grasp, but still no picks coming in. Both of these two teams looking for something, and Luca's gonna fall down early on. Overtime bar ticking away, but it looks like Overwatch Reforged are going to be able to go in here, as Monkey Boy finds a couple.
Just the sheer ult value coming in that that Overwatch Reforged went into that fight with. I mean, they did have almost full ult economy there, just giving them the sheer advantage. Abstract did end up denying pretty much a lot of the value from the Amplified Matrix from Phalix there, just throwing it right behind it. So not much value there, but unfortunately, just when you have more ults, tend to win the fight.
Yeah, definitely. But now they still have the Sound Barrier available to go into this here to keep things going. If Remix to use in with this Gravitic Flux that Tread is going to be using out. But Chris almost going down super low. The Flux comes out. Sound Barrier able to come out from Remix. But now they have nothing to deal with the rest of the damage coming out from the Amp Matrix of Luca and company here, as they've lost Chris in this fight. Still, they're trying to hold out, but it doesn't look to be possible right now. But hey, still not going down. A nice pick coming in from SXJ onto the opposition, and falling down with the overclock coming through. The point's going to flip back over, and now this should be the point. As the overtime bar ticks away, and the Blizzard coming in as celebration. Round 1 goes to Swiss Yes.
That was a very, very interesting fight, actually. It went on for quite a while, but it was the hero play coming in from SXJ, just getting that damage through the Amplified Matrix, and then also just going with the over-aggression, just absolutely using that railgun and one-tapping him out, and just, you know, giving them that man advantage. Beautiful play coming in.
Beautiful indeed. Now we head over to sub-levels, and we have actually no real changes coming in. Maybe not. Monkey Boy going over to the Junker Queen is definitely interesting.
Definitely trying to be a bit more close range. Oh, no, it was just a bait. All right. I see how it is. But we have, as I said earlier, we have seen the Symmetra play. Was it just for the TP, though? It is indeed just for the TP once again. So they are going to be just using the exact same comps as we had seen on the previous map. Poking away. Let's see how we can get.
Yeah, as now the fight's gonna break out here on the top of sub levels, looking to get something going.
Ooh.
As Starwings goes down early on in this fight. It's a huge play coming in from Abstract there, as rotation coming out and forcing them down to the point, and well, forcing into Ducio's play, and Monkey Boy falls. This should, yeah, be the end of this attack, or from at least from Overwatch Reforged.
Yeah, Abstract really shining in that fight, I think. You know, getting that first initial pick, giving them the man advantage there for the fight. And then the wall coming in onto Monkey Boy, just leaving him, forcing him really to drop down away from his team, isolating him, and just, you know, giving, you know, Swiss yes just the complete advantage there.
Yeah, now the fight coming out. Starwing's very low so far, but not going to be able to find a pick quite just yet from Swiss yes on the opposition, trying to build up these ultimates. All of Abstract almost up to this Blizzard is going to be crucial, especially if Remix can't build up to this sound barrier before they get there. There's the Blizzard available. When they use it is the real question now. And Starwings finds out, or SXJ finds out Starwings. The Blizzard comes through as well, and the follow-up going to be there for the rest of Swiss yes, taking no prisoners in that fight.
Oh, absolutely vital. I mean, as we mentioned, Abstract coming in earlier on, just getting that advantage, and then, you know, building up his ultimate so quickly that Remix just had no chance to use that sound barrier. It just wasn't available for him, and it just led to a sheer collapse in the entirety of Overwatch Reforge.
Yeah, now going into this next fight, it still should be in favor of Swiss yes, with the advantage currently in ultimates, but now with the Gridic Flux coming in from Monkey Boy, sound barrier going to be used by Ducio in response, the Flux in response now as well from Tread. Sound barriers come only allure as Chris uses their Blizzard, but they fall down now. This is just not looking too good. They do get Ducio out, but the overclock coming through, and Remix falls as well. They're going to look to take Falix out. SXJ continuing to just dominate right now in this lobby. Going down super low, though, but it shouldn't be enough to change the tide of this fight, as it's 95 and counting. And that should be the round going, unless there's some miraculous touch. As Starwings gets taken out of the sky as SXJ completes the hold for Swiss yes, as they take map number 1.
Absolutely insane plays coming in from SXJ, and I wouldn't be surprised if it actually comes out as the play of the game. There it is, yeah, using that overclock, just absolutely going to town on the enemy team. I mean, without any Lucio sound barrier coming in, he's just going, yeah, just continuously spamming away. Even the lamp can't save Baptiste, or the rest of his team, just completely dismantling Overwatch Reforge there.
Yeah, they looked really good there so far. Definitely vying for that chance to retake on I Need More Bullets in the losers finals here. Right now, I think Overwatch Reforged just need to be able to tighten things up a little bit more. Not dying first in the fights is huge. Other than that, I mean, they've got to be they've just got to be find those priority picks onto to their opposing team.
Yeah, I mean, Swiss yes were able to do exactly that, you know, taking down, or at least with Abstract, managing to find those initial picks in the beginning of these fights, and also being able to, you know, just give themselves the ult advantage. I think also with Overwatch Reforged, they weren't able to really find that much value out of their ult usage. I mean, they were able to obviously trade the sound barriers for the fluxes, but I mean, you kind of need to be more aggressive and try to get those picks, as you mentioned, and, you know, use those ults. And as SXJ did towards the end with that overclock, just absolutely decimate the entire team, pretty much.
Yeah. As now we're just waiting to see where the side of Overwatch Reforged do decide to take us. It is going to be an escort map, and obviously escort, there is a couple of maps to choose, a few maps to choose from, and we are going to be seeing Circuit Roy. No, maybe not. Felix is still waiting to figure it out in a second. We're just waiting for that this full decision coming in. Okay, the circuit is going to be fine. Perfect.
Yeah, it seems like Circuit Royale does seem to be the map of choice when we go into Escort here, especially when you're running these Sigma comps, these sort of half poke, half brawl comps. You know, especially with the long sightlines that come with Circuit Royale, that's really where it shines. You're playing that Sigma, just yeah, you just get so much value out of the shield and out of the poke.
Yeah, no, definitely. This should be a fun one to see, especially since they have swapped sides as well. Swiss Chess going over to the attacking phase here to put that pressure fully onto Overwatch Reforge.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I personally haven't seen much play on Circuit Royale, but I am curious to see if we're gonna have anything want to spice it up, especially with the actual like Swiss Yes being the number one seed here. I mean, they were quite dominant in that previous map. I wonder if they're gonna, try some things out, just let loose a little bit and see what works.
Yeah. It should be indeed as we are loading into Circuit Royale now. And we'll have to see. Um, we'll see how these two teams are deciding to attack it here as we're loading into the game, and um, we're just waiting for the times to tick down, and then we'll see what the teams are.
Do we tend to see any sort of fun comms coming in? I mean, besides like anything just sort of diverting away from this Sigma BAP sort of team combo, which we keep seeing over and over again on this map specifically. I mean, Dive, I don't know how well it's gonna do. The Pharah might be an interesting pick here.
They are on attack, so I will say that's probably not going to come in. I mean, it definitely could.
Oh,
But I would.
I mean,
I would.
we've seen
Yeah.
it previously. Like, okay, it has been swapped over, but I think we have seen it previously. I can't remember exactly where I saw it, but it was in a competitive environment. You know, bringing that Pharah Mercy on, being able to fly over those buildings close to the high ground and just sort of not just deny the entire sightlines. But no, we will be seeing snipers galore, at least for Overwatch Reforge here.
FXJ. SXJ over to the Symmetra here. Interestingly enough, they are going to be going into that double sniper composition from Overwatch Reforged at the moment, but they are going to be going into this fight early on and already finding Felix out of the fight. Just being able to go in and take so much damage. This is already going to be Swiss Yes taking firm control of this.
I mean, yeah, that Symmetra TP just absolutely denied all sightlines that Overwatch Reforged needed to make use of with the Widowmaker, with the Hanzo really, and then being sped on by that Lucio. Not much you can really do about it there when you're being so overwhelmed.
Yeah, as now they probably get this first point captured because you're not going to really want to contest. They have made those swaps, but they're going to take so much damage going in onto this first fight. It's not looking good, especially with that immortality field no longer there. Going to be taking Monkey Boy out immediately, and that is going to be that. They do find Ducio out, but the point is quickly captured by the by Swiss Yes here as they find those stagger kills.
Yeah, I mean this Symmetra pick is really proving quite a big one, I think, especially against characters or heroes, sorry, like Sigma, where you can't really negate much of that damage as it's a beam. It's just gonna go straight through it, and especially with the turrets coming in, as you saw before he even dropped to the ground, he was already half HP, so already giving them that big advantage.
Yeah, as the Flux comes out here, as Tread looks to get that fight done and dusted for them already, but they haven't really found picks here. As the Monkey Boy is over to the Junker Queen, trying to change something up. They desperately need to with the Amp Matrix coming through, and Tread's going to be found out by that nice Rampage or Carnage and Jagged Blade combo coming in from Monkey Boy, as now Overwatch Reforged looks to set up on the defense.
It seems like this Junker Queen pick has been a little bit of a different change we've seen here, especially allowing them to have that over aggression with the Lucio, with the the speed boosts coming in from both Lucio and Junker Queen, and just allowing them to just run rampage all over the enemy team.
Yeah, but now play is gonna come in. They're gonna have to deal with these ultimates that are coming online from both of these squads, with the Photon Barrier gonna be the one to go out first from. Oh my goodness, a nice eat coming in as well from Tread there. That's just gonna solidify the fight, all in the favor of Swiss. Yes, there coming in clutch with a nice eat. They do lose Luca in the meanwhile, but that's just a consolation prize, staggering out Falix there, and in the end, they captured point number 2.
Oh, and that's just so unfortunate to see the Lucio barrier being committed there, and just all for nothing really. So both the cryo and the Lucio barrier just sort of thrown to the wind there, and only to lose the fight.
Yes, now they've taken this high ground away from Overwatch Reforged. They're pushing this very close, or pushing this objective as far as they can. They've still got so much time in the bank to really solidify this. They can afford to lose these fights if they so need to, but they don't intend to do any of that right now. With the Rampage coming through, it's going to get on to SXJ and Tread, and the follow-up's going to be there. Chris is going to be taking out the Symmetra, and now looking for Tread as well, who's super low. Going to get the healing, though. Now the Sound Barrier being invested as well. They do not want to stop any of their momentum right now, as Chris looking for this pick. They do find Tread in the end. Now Amp Matrix comes in from Falix as well to help stabilize the point for Overwatch Reforged.
Yeah, I was gonna say that the difference here really is between these Meis. At least in that fight, you could see the Mei wall usage just wasn't quite there for Chris, but they somehow managed to use that Amplific Matrix, use the Rampage coming in from Monkey Boy, and just absolutely flip the fight on its head really.
Yeah, definitely is now. We're getting into this later stages. They've got the advantage now. Swiss, yes, if with these 3 ultimates that they have available here, especially if you can use this Blizzard before Remix gets up to the Sound Barrier, but I don't think that is going to be possible unless they use it here and now, and they do. They use the Sound Barrier early on, but both Blizzards come online. Remix gonna have that available, and Abstract falls down. Flux comes out though. Now they have nothing to deal with this damage that's gonna come out from it, and SXJ is going to pounce on that opportunity, finding 3 picks now for Swiss. Yes, is the overclock coming in from Starwings, trying to turn it back in their favor somehow, some way, but that's just not looking like it's possible. With the picks going their way, SXJ still just beaming down the opposition on the point. Immortality Field just deleted with that beam. This should be all but over here. With Falix falling down, it's just a tracer of Chris left on point, and that's going to be dealt with swiftly. The Starwings going down, Sound Barrier in celebration. 2 minutes and 18 on the clock for Swiss. Yes.
Just SXJ with that Symmetra pick. I mean, the longer the fights go on, that beam just gets charged up, and the damage coming out is just unbearable. And you saw him just mowing through the entire enemy team, really, and only to use the Sound Barrier just there for celebration. It's not needed. And yeah, with 2 minutes on the clock, they've got plenty of time to work with.
Yeah. Now we go over to the attacking phase of Overwatch Reforged. We saw they had a good opportunity. They were able to get a decent amount of time off the clock for on Swiss Yes's attack. I'm interested to see what they decide to use on their attacking phase, if they decide to change things up.
I mean, we're seeing them come out with a Widowmaker here. I mean, this could also just be it's hard to tell right now. Yeah, you're seeing the Alara, you're seeing the Doomfist. Unsure if they're gonna stick with it. But it will be interesting. Yeah, there we go. In fact, it does end up swapping over to just exact same similar comp to what we've been seeing. Really, the Jungle Queen though does seem to be making a difference for them over the Sigma, just being able to just boost up onto the enemy team and just create that pressure, especially with the Lucio, especially with the Mei in those close range fights. And they are gonna start taking a fight, spawn camping, just trying to force as much as they can out.
Yeah, spawn camp coming in, and it's going to be really hard to deal with the Symmetra in these close quarters. A nice Maywall comes in from Abstract already, taking Monkey Boy out of the fight. That's a quick team fight win from Swiss Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big advantage for them being able to spawn camp. It does give you that third extra fight if you do lose it, but it seems like Swiss Yes aren't thinking about losing it anytime soon. They're just completely on top of them.
Yeah, this is just looking very hard, especially the way that they're taking these fights. They're not allowing Overwatch Reforged to build up to any of these ultimates. You might see a swap. Yeah, they're going to see Chris go over to the Junkrat. I would also maybe see the play of a swap over to Roadhog as well. That could be an option to get more pick potential, but we shall see. It's not even close to being to that desperate quite just yet, especially with the damage that's coming out from Chris on the Junkrat right now, forcing players back for the moment as they are finally out of spawn. It would seem, yeah, they are, and now on the cart, forcing them to go back, but Chris falls down. But so is Lucas. This is a perfect opening for Overwatch Reforged and now still not finding enough damage though to really fully take control of this cart quite just yet. As they are going to teleport out for the moment and wait for those respawns to come back from them.
You can just see how important and how beneficial this spawn camping was. I mean, just look at the entirety of Swiss Yes fully charged up on ultimates, 5 ults on their side, as opposed to, I mean, 2, maybe 3 coming up in just a second for Overwatch. Yes, Swiss Yes definitely have the advantage here.
Abstract finding the headshot on the Phalanx is huge as well. Not going to be able to get real good value from that Amp Matrix any longer. And now they look to keep the hold as Monkey Boy falls down.
Very, very disciplined, though, with the ult usage. It was just a trade out of the Amplified Matrix from both Baptistes. So, I mean, Swiss Yes are still looking in such a good position here, and they're already, pushed up quite a bit.
Yeah, they are indeed. I mean, as they look to keep things going. It's just going to be a little bit difficult. I mean, a nice damage coming out from Chris right there. But now the overclock coming in. Now is the Blizzard as well coming in. The sound barrier going to come through. Ducio not be able to pop their own as now the Blizzard can come online from Chris. They do go down in the end. The photon barrier comes through, but it might be enough. Yes, yeah, as they get Starwinks into the position to deal the damage possible to keep things going their way, as they probably have gotten this first point unlocked.
Yeah, beautiful aggression coming in. That cryo freeze really doing work for them. Being able to use that sound barrier in response to Abstract's cryo freeze is getting a lot of value there. And this might actually end up securing them the first point. No, they might actually contest this.
It's now the Flux coming in. Yeah, they have the chance to contest, and it's going to work out well. They've gotten all the chance in the world to hold it out for the moment as they are going to find Chris as Abstract finds 2 there late.
Oh, and now with 50 seconds on the clock, the time is running down, and it's getting into desperation time. Chris actually ends up swapping to the Sombra, possibly to try and trigger overtime here.
Yeah, trying to get over to the Sombra, trying to get his back as quickly as possible. The Rampage coming out as well, trying to get the touch. They get there with Remix, and they almost find out 2 players, but the damage not going to be there, and no one's going to get into the touch in the end, as that is going to be that. 2-0 is the series, as now Swiss Yes are on match point.
Wow, yeah, I mean, it was honestly, I don't even know if there was any specific standout performances from any players. But I mean, both, yeah, literally everybody from Swiss Yes just going absolutely to town here, being able to spawn camp them, getting that much value, and not even letting them cap first point is quite a dominant showing. from Swiss Yes.
Yeah, as we are already have the map choice coming in from Overwatch Reforged here. Going over to King's Row is the choice. I mean, there was no other choice really if you're going to a hybrid map at this point in the game. Um, as they look to come back in this series and tie, or at least try to tie or get closer to it, and then try to tie it up after that. But right now, Swiss Yes are in the driver's seat fully.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, the interesting thing though with Kings Row, I mean, it is the obvious choice as you mentioned. Kings Row by far my favorite map of the entirety of Overwatch. But yeah, the interesting thing with Kings Row is it does tend to be more of a brawly map. So we have seen different compositions like the Reinhardt being pulled out, even the Ramacho in some cases. So we might actually see some sort of spice up coming in here. Maybe not just the Sigma.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely an opportunity for more brawly tanks. We could see the Reinhardt come out from Monkey Boy, um, or the Orisa. It really depends on what they want to do. Or because I mean, they've got to figure it out. This is again match point for Swiss Yes as we are headed into the game now, and we'll see what these comps are going to be coming out from them. We're not going to talk about Swiss Yes there. Monkey Boy though, I don't necessarily dislike. Okay, I was about to say I don't necessarily dislike it. You can get so much. There's a chance for pick potential, but I don't know about the. This is an interesting comp. I will say I don't know about this.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. The Junkrat, I mean, he's still on spawn. He might end up swapping off, so we might end up just seeing the exact same. In fact, yeah, we do end up seeing the exact same comp that we saw played on the previous map with the Junker Queen. And I do actually like the Junker Queen. Definitely brings out more of a brawly presence on a map like King's Row, as we mentioned earlier. And Abstract almost getting that pick immediately.
Yeah, looking for this, looking for that headshot pick, and swapping over to the Mei. Not really any surprise there, as now the rotation already coming in from Swiss Yes, forcing back a lot of people from Overwatch Reforged as Monkey Boy got very low there. Gonna be able to get healed up still as Felix is still in this fight, but already getting the first capture going their way, and not even on the point for the moment, not even being able to proc it as 6J finds Starwinks out. Monkey Boy looking for some damage coming through with the Carnage, but nothing doing quite just yet. A lot of people are low though on the side of Swiss Yes, but and they do find out Shred. The trades keep coming through, but is it enough to stop the aggression that is coming from the attacking phase? And it does not look likely, as Swiss Yes are able to take this first point.
Seems like Overwatch Reforged here respected Swiss Yes a bit too much. I mean, gave up so much of that point control. All the high ground was just completely given towards Swiss Yes, and they were just able to the pressure from above. I mean, you could see Luca really just hiding on high ground, just spamming away, healing away, damaging away, and just keeping that pressure up for Swiss Yes, and just, you know, over time able to come out on top of that fight.
Yeah, and now this is where the fight's going to break out, with Luca using that Ant Matrix, as well as the overclock, the flux coming in from Shred, as that should be enough. Okay, and it's going to be enough for the side of Overwatch Reforged to come in there to take this fight in response, as they invested a lot of ultimates, did Swiss Yes, but not going to be able to find any picks. And there's Overwatch Reforged coming in with a nice defensive hold.
Oh, beautiful play coming in from Overwatch Reforged, really. I mean, Chris, I think, honestly, single-handedly carried that fight. Being able to just completely deny SXJ from, you know, quite a lot of that, and just forcing him out of the fight, especially using that overclock, just getting, like, barely any value out of it at all, especially with the sound barrier coming in to deny the damage that did end up coming through. Just beautiful play from Chris.
Now, Abstract's going to be using the Blizzard early on, and Chris is blown up. Blizzard does go through from Chris, but it's just not going to have any value because there's no one to really follow up onto it, because, well, they were all dying to Swiss Yes, as they're now pushing forward to try to complete this second point.
The pressure was just too much, but now looking at the ult economy, I mean, Swiss yes don't have much going for them currently. I mean, 10% on the Lucio barrier, that's a ways away. I'm not sure how they're going to be able to deal with Monkey Boy coming out with a rampage, and also the overclock from Star Wings. It's just going to be too much damage, I think.
Yeah, as now the fight should. This could be going into the favor of Overwatch Overwatch. They have the advantage going into this. They just need to be able to land some shots as a nice Jagged Blade comes through. Takes down Luca. Doesn't really get any of the value that you were hoping for with that rampage, but all was needed was that Jagged Blade to open things up. Starwings finds a pick on Aducio with their overclock as a nice re-engage did come through from Overwatch Reforged.
Yeah, I mean, I like the play coming in, trying to take out high ground and trying to get that rampage to just completely just hit everybody on high ground. Unfortunately, didn't connect, but what did connect was that Jagged Blade, which ended up getting that man advantage towards Overwatch Reforged and just, you know, allowing them to just sail through for the remainder of the fight.
Now we come into this. SXJ has the overclock available, but they are going to be going into that amp matrix from Phalix at the moment. So they're just going to have to buy some time, wait things out here as now they can go in with that amp matrix no longer being a sound barrier comes in, and they're looking to take out someone with a flux, and it's going to work out. Starwings goes down, so is very low was Ducio, but not going to go down quite just yet as the healing is there. Maywall comes through to separate them out, try to keep someone alive, and Abstract falls down, but again, it still looks like to be enough from Overwatch, or from Swiss Yes to keep things going their way. They do lose Ducio in the meanwhile, but Monkey Boy is kind of between a very rock and a hard place at the moment. Having to walk out of that is now they have to try to get the touch, and they do with Star Wings for the moment. Now Monkey Boy can rotate, but they're going to be dealt with swiftly by an SXJ secondary fire, and that should be the point finish if they can just clean up the remaining members on the point of Overwatch Reforged, and they do so after they take out Chris on the Tracer.
Yeah, it seems like he has just been taken out, but I think the main thing to take away from that was Overwatch Reforged were a bit premature with both their support ults, really. I mean, the entirety of Phalix's ult was just completely waited out by Swiss Yes, and of course the remix's sound barrier didn't get much value as Tread just waited that out too, and then, you know, used his flux to get as much and take out Star Wings immediately.
Yeah, there's just a little bit of an early ultimates coming in from Overwatch Reforged, but hey, they find that pick on Luca. It's going to buy them more time, getting it probably around 2 minutes before this fight breaks underway, but losing Starwings that early is not what you want to see. The trade does come through from Chris immediately afterwards as the commanding shout's going to be used. It can go in onto the remaining members of Overwatch Reforged if they do want to, as the flux now built up yet again from Tread. Sound barrier in response, though, a perfect one this time from Remix. Keeps people alive and healthy. So Monkey Boy has this rampage available and going to be using it here and now. Sound barrier, though, in response. SXJ has fallen out, though, so it's still anyone's point, but the Blizzard coming in and no sound barrier to deal with that, as that is going to be a nice team fight win coming in from Swiss Yes.
I mean, that's going to be the tough decision making coming in from the Lucio player, right? Do you use the Lucio beat for the Sigma ult, or do you go and save it for the Cryo Freeze from the Mei? I mean, both are easily team winning ultimates, but you know, you got to pick your poison, and unfortunately Remix just had too much to deal with there.
Yeah, now the fight is going to break out. They don't really have any ultimates. Luca's going to have his amp major. Oh my goodness, you don't may not even need an ultimate with Monkey Boy falling down that early. Tread's super low as well. There's the Blizzard coming online, but they haven't been able to find the picks onto anyone but Ducio as Chris falls down. This might just be it here as their picks going the way of Swiss Yes, as Abstract fills the kill feed there as they as Swiss Yes complete all 3 points.
Yeah, I mean, great play coming in. A smart play, really, from Swiss Yes. I mean, that Cryo Freeze just took up the entire point. I thought it was going to completely flip, but the LOS coming in just completely denied any sort of CC coming in from that Cryo Freeze, and just allowed Swiss Yes to then mow down and clean up shop.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, the only I forget how long it is for the attacking phase if you don't capture point one. So, however long is between Swiss Yes and a date or rematch with I Need Bullets in the losers finals. But we will see if the side of Overwatch Reforged have anything to say about it quite just yet.
I mean, yeah, the game's not over just yet. I am interested to see the rematch from Swiss. Yes, I Need More Bullets. I mean, it did end in a 3-2 match difference, but I guess you can't really count out Overwatch Reforged just yet. There's 43 seconds remaining for that cap point, but yeah, we'll see what they can pull out and see if they'll have anything up their sleeves, really.
Yeah, nothing really changing except Falix is gonna go over to the Ana. Interestingly enough, I'm assuming they're gonna either try to nano boost Monkey Boy or Starwinks in this composition, because I mean, there's no one else you really would benefit from the nano boost.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what else their plan is, and in fact, they do end up swapping off. Yeah, I did think the Ana might have been a bit strange going into Sigma. I mean, he could just get eaten every nade, not finding too much value, maybe trying to, find them behind a May wall, but I do prefer this Baptiste pick coming in.
I do as well. Just so much more versatility and much more kits, or much more sustainability from the kit, as Luca is going to be felled out first and foremost. Now this is their perfect go sign for Overwatch Reforged. They find out Ducio as well, and this might be a very quick capture coming in from Overwatch Reforged, as S6J falls down and Shred is caught between a rock and a hard place, as they're going to go down as well.
An interesting fight. I do like, I mean, as it comes with Junker Queen, you do get that instant aggression, that instant speed boost, especially with Lucio combined. You get instantly onto point without giving Swiss Yes a chance to think about it. But I thought SXJ had a prime position there on high ground. I thought he was just going to be able to mow down and clean things up. He did manage to find a couple kills there, but unfortunately just wasn't enough. He was taken down by Starwinks in the end.
That's a nice entry pick comes in from SXJ there onto Monkey Boy. Now they do have to stall out for a long time, 5 minutes and 10 seconds to go here, but they're in a perfect position to do it. This archway is a great defensive holding position, but they need to be able to find more picks off the back of it, because the respawns are already back. So now the Rampage comes out, but not going to be able to find anything quite just yet. The Amp Matrix is now out, but they don't have the Sound Barrier quite just yet, and Falix is going to fall down. It's a nice play comes in from Swiss Yes off the back of Tread's Gravitic Flux.
That's it. I mean, that timing before the Sound Barrier is even allowed to get popped. The Gravitic Flux comes in, takes down the team, and just giving the fight win. I mean, also arguably, is it worth committing the Sound Barrier that close to spawn? I mean, we did see the spawn cam coming in the previous map, and it did work out pretty well for Swiss Yes, so we might actually just continue to see the same thing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I would probably prefer this archway, which they're going to continue to try to take this hold of. But losing SXJ is not good at all. They're going to try to invest it out here, try to save off, as they're going to invest both Blizzards coming in. But in the end, it looks like, yeah, Overwatch Reforged are going to come out on top with a nice one coming in from Chris there.
Just being able to get that much more value, yeah, out of that Blizzard, really, from Chris, as opposed to Abstract. They did end up trading, though. Remix did use his Sound Barrier there, which Ducio still has in hand, so we'll be able to see how he makes that work. Possibly to counter the Monkey Boy, possibly to counter Starwinks. He has a lot of cards to play here. Just hope he picks the right one.
Yeah, definitely. As now looking to come in, and the overclock comes in from SXJ. Almost is taken out early on. Starwinks uses their own overclock as well. Not going to be able to find anything. Rampage comes out onto 4, as Ducio is not able to get a good Sound Barrier off onto anyone, as this should be the fight done and dusted quickly for Overwatch Reforged. They're going to be able to capture point number 3 after they clean up these last 2 players of Swiss Yes.
That pressure coming in onto SXJ once again with that overclock. They've denied so much value out of it. He got, tapped down to low HP as soon as he popped the overclock, unfortunately forcing him to be LOS from Ducio's Sound Barrier and just completely out of the fight, and then followed up by getting hit by the Rampage from Monkey Boy.
Now a play comes in. The Blizzard is gonna come, or no, the Blizzard, the Amp Matrix is gonna come out. Tread gonna go down as this is a very blistering pace coming in from Overwatch Reforged.
Yeah, I mean, when you have characters like Junker Queen and Lucio and also even Mei, really, I mean, you kind of want to just be on top of your team completely, just try and overwhelm them with the damage and with the pressure that you can really apply to them.
Blizzard's gonna come in from Abstract, but they are gonna get the freeze on a couple of players at the moment, but still waiting out, trying to take out Chris early on would be huge, and they are going to be able to get that pick from SXJ. Soundberry, though, invested to try to keep things going. They do find Tread out. It's a nice play. Abstract super low as well. Commanding Shout, getting him into a good position. The Amp Matrix coming through, but Remix falls quickly afterwards. Luca's going to go down, though. There's still an opportunity for Overwatch Reforged to keep things going, especially after being able to pick out SXJ there. So Rampage comes in there from Monkey Boy on the Tread. This might be enough to hold on. It's just Abstract and Tread on the point, and no longer Abstract. Overclock coming in. Chris using the Blizzard onto the point. This is going to be a blistering pace coming in from Overwatch Reforged. 3 minutes on the board.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I think the most important thing I could take from that was that SwissYes just unable to get, or at least denied the value from both their DPS ultimates, both the Mei Blizzard and the Overclock coming in from SXJ. Both were just denied fight after fight, and just when you're unable to find that kind of value, you know, the pressure coming in from Monkey Boy is just too much. It's just overwhelming, and yeah, I mean, it was able to give them this sort of time lead.
Yeah, now we'll see how they decide to attack this. They might have to change something up because they looked a little bit lost when that Junker Queen comp got momentum in their favor. They're still trying to figure it out for the moment still, though. And I mean, why would you swap if you're Overwatch Reforged? It worked so well on your attacking phase. You just got to make it work a little bit better on the defense, and then you've got yourself a map victory.
Yeah, I definitely am liking this Junker Queen pick from them. Unfortunately, weren't able to find much from the Sigma pick. The mirror just wasn't really working out, so they just chose to go for more brawl comp, you know, get in your face, just overwhelm and not allow SwissYes to just do much to work for them, really. So I'm really liking this pick from Overwatch Reforged.
Me too, but we'll see if it continues to work in their favor, as the attack is going to start out from SwissYes here, rotating around Statue, looking for this first pick. A lot of very low there, as Chris is going to get that healing, though. As the nice Mei wall comes out, Monkey Boy's going to be so low, and they are going to be able to find that first pick onto them now. This should be the first point captured quickly from SwissYes.
That is exactly what they needed. They needed to, you know, abuse the Mei wall from Abstract, just isolate Monkey Boy away from his team, and you saw as soon as that wall went up, his health went down. Just absolutely no room for counterplay, really, and just took him down, and, you know, the rest of the team shortly followed.
Yeah, definitely. 12 seconds remaining, though, but the real push will come in overtime if SwissYes can win this fight out here and now, and they should be able to do so with this advantage. Alt's gonna probably be in their advantage unless there's a huge change coming in, as the Mei walls come out, but is gonna be broken up by the cart for the moment. Still trying to build up to a flux, or this Amp Matrix would be huge from SwissYes if they want to keep going, as Tread or Monkey Boy is fouled out early on. Tread very low, gonna get CC, but it's not gonna be taken down quite just yet, as SwissYes find the team kill.
I mean, yeah, in these kind of situations, especially when you're in overtime, you want to try and see if you can get away with not using any ultimates and just use the fight as just sort of a way to build up your economy and to just go for one, you know, Hail Mary attempt at the card, especially when you've got 3 minutes left on the clock. And I'm not sure really what they've got to do here to win the fight.
They do have this Blizzard, which could be huge, but again, you're going into a 5-stack from SwissYes here, especially if you can take down Monkey Boy early on, and they do so. Blizzard comes out as well. All the ultimates that they invest are going to be able to find the mark, And, well, they get the support ultimates out as well from Overwatch Reforged.
And that's big now. We can see next fight, probably SXJ is just going to be able to get so much value from this overclock now with no Lucio sound barrier really to counter it. The Blizzard might end up pushing him out of range and sort of isolating him, but I think that's what Chris is going to have to focus on, trying to poke SXJ out, trying to keep him away and just make that overclock find no value really.
Yeah, now still got an opportunity to keep pushing forward here. Oh.
Oh.
There's just nothing. There's just nothing to say.
I'm a loss for words.
Not a C9 in the Swiss Elite Series #1 playoffs round set loser semifinals. Oh no, this is disastrous for Swiss. Yes, they had all the tools they really needed to attack or at least complete that map.
Yeah, I mean SXJ, yeah, with the overclock was readily available. Ducio with the sound barrier just in case things gotta get a little spicy, but I guess nobody really expected them to just step off the point a bit too far. I mean, hey, they have capped 2 points almost, or got halfway through capping to the third, so I wouldn't say it was a bad overtime push considering they capped the first point in overtime.
Oh no, definitely, it was a really good one, but they were set up to complete the map, which is going to be unfortunate for them, but because especially since of how big of a time bank that Overwatch Reforged has.
Oh yeah, that's going to be very scary. 3 minutes on the clock, and they've got quite a lot to to play with, really. Same comps though coming in, nothing changing. It has been working. Let's see if they can pull something out of the hat here. Overwatch Reforged.
Yeah, as now they go into the fight here, and well, some nice shots already coming in from Abstract on this Mei. Some very good shots. Now the Mei wall comes out, but SXJ goes down early on. The headshot from Chris is massive. They could be finish this off in a quick time, in a quick fashion here on the first point, especially with Tread super low. Monkey Boy a little bit over aggressive, gonna be fouled out though, so this is a perfect opportunity to go back onto the point if you are Swiss Yes to try to keep this hold going their way. Starwings super low, gonna go down to do so. They do find Abstract out. The trades gonna be always in the favor of Overwatch Reforged unless there's a quick team wipe, as it is going to be that case.
Wow, this fight completely flipped on its head. A fight that we thought was going to be going to Overwatch Reforged, but the Patience coming in, able to sort of disconnect from the fight and able to win those 1v1s. I mean, Luca and Ducio taking down Starwings there. I mean, do people say supports are OP? I don't know.
They do in fact say especially the flex support role is incredibly OP. But right now, finding SXJ is huge, but the side of Swiss Yes are in a very good spot to hold things out unless, well, they don't find picks off the back of these ultimates, in which they don't, as all the picks now are going in the way of Overwatch Reforged. You invest so much and you find so little. If you're Swiss Yes, now only a minute and 12 seconds on the board though.
We saw a similar pattern there. SXJ getting picked off at the beginning of the first and second fight. Almost got picked off there too. But yeah, as you rightly mentioned, Abstract, Tread, and Luca all using their ultimates, and Remix still has his sound barrier in hand. I mean, they've just got a huge advantage here, Overwatch Reforged.
Yeah, but going into this Streets phase, it could all change with one shot. SXJ almost up to the overclock. Overclock coming in from Starwings early on here. The Maywall trying to separate out that sight line, try to not get the value that they're hoping for, but SXJ goes down. They are going to trade it back though. Monkey Boy is out. Now the sound barrier going to be invested by Ducio, as well as Remix's sound barrier coming in to try to hold off Chris in the midst of the entire team, and are going to go down after they get fouled out there. It's a nice hold comes through, 16 seconds remaining, and they've got the overclock. The Rampage is available from Monkey Boy though.
Starwing swapping to the Tracer, trying to go for the last ditch ever to try and touch the point. I mean, with 5 seconds left on the clock, Monkey Boy actually might go in for the Rampage now.
Oh,
The May
a
Wall.
perfect Maywall coming in from Abstract there might have just won them the series, unless there's some drastic changes coming through. The Critic Flux comes out from Tread, overclock from SXJ, trying to get the damage done. Can they find out the picks? Tread is the one to fall first, though. This is not what you were expecting to see at all. Abstract finds Starwinks out of the fight, but there's still an advantage coming in from Overwatch Reforged as Falix finds another pick as they still keep going as Overwatch Reforged.
I'm just absolutely lost for words right now. A fight which I thought was surely won with negating that Rampage ult. Also Starwings being forced to swap onto this Tracer to try and get to the point as fast as possible. And also with SXJ being, I guess with being pushed out of that fight for quite a lot of it, I guess that's where they really found this value and able to come out on top.
As Crisco's falls out, and they're gonna get Ajax out of the sound barrier, which is huge. Sound barrier now invested from Abstract. Sound barrier as well coming in from Ducio to keep things going their way, and that should be that. Swiss, yes, are able to take the map and the series and book their ticket to the losers finals.
Wow. Well, I'm completely at a loss for words right now. What a game we just saw. Those fights. Honestly, throughout the entire map, really, the fights kept flip-flopping between teams. You thought one team was coming out ahead, whether it was for the ult advantage or even just sheer mana advantage, but then suddenly something would just completely flip. And yeah, I mean, Abstract, I think played this absolutely beautifully here, especially coming out with the May walls to cut off Monkey Boy and just really give them that advantage in the fights.
Yeah, definitely. And that allowed Swiss Yes to book their tickets to the losers finals. We are going to go to a break. We are going to be making a swap of casters. We're going to bring in Megalash. She is great. Make sure to thank her for coming in for me. I need to pass out right after this. So stick around. The losers finals and then the grand finals will be coming right after this break.
ground push here. A sneaky Symmetra strat and already everybody.
There's the Pharah, and oh my god, Vari is
Already in a big load of trouble. Farming as well to 80. 80 just creating incredible value for his team here. Just slicing through the enemy backpack dead.
And welcome on back here to the Overwatch Swiss Elite Series #1. We're in the playoffs. We're in the lower finals. I am Megalas having to tap in because Joker, he had to go to sleep. Little tired boy, a little eepy. But, I mean, we are here in the lower finals. And Tefray, I mean, if you just want to sum up how we got here and just exactly what we're looking forward to in this match.
I mean, yeah, it's been quite an adventure for Swiss. Yes, they did start out, you know, in the upper brackets going up against Swiss Yokai with a fat 3-0, but then going up against the team we'll be facing now in the losers final, which is I Need More Bullets, and they did in fact lose 3-2 to get here, and crawling their way through, just beating, you know, Overwatch Reforged 3-0 actually, and now yeah, the rematch is here, and I'm excited to see who comes out on top of this, because the last time we saw these teams face off, it was quite a close series.
Yeah, and it's always nice when you get those revenge matches of those close affairs, just because both these teams are clearly going to have that passion, of course, not just to get to grand finals, but truly to try to one-up each other one more time here. But, I mean, just looking to how the series has been playing out so far, you know, looking at that last match, Swiss, yes, they've been rocking a lot of this traditional Sigma comp. You know, it just sort of is the meta right now. We've kind of all accepted it as the bread and butter, but maybe this other team, I Need More Bullets, could pull out some curveballs.
Yeah, I mean, we did see Overwatch Reforged in that previous game pull out the Junker Queen, and it did, in fact, you know, seem to put a lot of pressure on Swiss, yes, even though it was a 3-0 series. It did end up getting a bit close at times, especially on that King's Row map, you know, being able to find value from that Rampage and being able to really just find value in the Brawl comp that just works so well on King's Row. So, yeah, I am hoping to see, hoping to see a bit more of a change in compositions, but, I mean, yeah, people don't tend to stray much from this, you know, Sigma, Mei, Sojourn, Bap, Lucio type of comp.
I mean, yeah, and that's just sort of the issue with the meta, right? Everything in that comp works so well. The Baptiste Lucio, phenomenal sustain, as well as moving the Sigma around. Sigma just kind of can exist on his own platform. But, you know, on the other side, looking towards that Junker Queen comp, as well as other variations that you may have seen and heard, you know, stuff like the Doomfist getting value, it kind of all comes down to the tempo, right? If you can play a comp that's just so much faster than the Sigma, that you're just simply outpacing them before they can get any sort of setup off with potentially a Mei wall or a Sojourn getting a pick, if you could just out-tempo it to such a high degree, then you can really run right over them.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, that's the issue though, right? I mean, we've seen Abstract be absolutely phenomenal on that Mei, being able to isolate the tank and just sort of, you know, with the speed boost that's provided with Lucio's Lucio, I mean, you're allowed to just, you know, capitalize on those kind of situations. SXJ, though, is able, you know, don't count him out. He is able to pop off when needed. We saw, in fact, on Circuit Royale on that Sojourn just going absolutely crazy when Overclock's in hand. Unfortunately, though, I do think I Need More Bullets does tend to play the exact same comp with, you know, Pack on the Mei, Yukai on the Lucio. So I think it's sort of a similar thing that we're going to be seeing here. So I guess it really is a battle of who can pull off the better strats with this comp.
Yes, indeed, and, you know, it always is interesting when we get those comp head-to-heads, because as you said, last time these two teams played in the bracket earlier, it was incredibly close, so if they're going to slam styles once again, it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top. But looking forward, it looks like, unless I'm mistaken, our first map is going to be the Antarctic Peninsula here. For the Sigma comp, this is definitely an interesting one to pull out.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we do tend to see a bit more brawly comps on this kind of map, but I mean, if we look at the previous game, Swiss yes against Overwatch Reforged, they did in fact pull out the Sigma comp and pretty much get the same comp throughout the entirety of Antarctic Peninsula, and just sort of come out on top with it either way. So I think it's definitely doable. So fingers crossed we'll see something different, but I think it's still going to be the bread and butter, and it's going to be mirrored 100%.
Yeah, I think we are just 2 days shy of seeing anything different with, you know, that looming patch, but that is then and this is now. And both these teams, I mean, it would be interesting, obviously, to see just sort of variation or anything like that. But if you were going to try to vary anywhere, it probably would be Antarctic Peninsula, right? As you said, this is a very brawl-favored map. Interestingly enough, even though the hero's kind of fallen out of meta, Ramatra, I feel like still almost has a place on certain rounds of the Antarctic Peninsula just because of, you know, the utility he can provide. His shield is the exact length of some choke points. It can really make it work if you, again, play at that high tempo.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, we have seen some variations on this map. As you mentioned, the Ramatra, in fact, which was actually right on my mind. Yeah, the Ramatra pick definitely seems to come out and work really, really well, especially, you know, just for the sheer amount of damage he can just soak up and the value he can get from, you know, alternating between, you know, poking with his with his primary fire and then swapping into that nemesis form and being able to just rush the enemy team down essentially. We do also tend to see, or we have seen actually in the past, some Symmetras being pulled out onto this map. So that might be interesting to see. It has always baited us previously with the TP coming in. Obviously, you want to try to get that map control as quickly as possible on maps like this. So we might see the Symmetra come out just for the TP, but I have seen it being committed for the rest of the fight.
Yeah, and I mean, that's always the thing with control, right? Is the Symmetra just to TP out a spawn, or is it actually real? That's always kind of the debate that goes back and forth here. But, I mean, as expected, we're looking at this sort of mirror matchup on both sides. Divine could be teasing it, just a little bit of a taste. Will it just be the TP out, though?
We'll find out in just a second. Drum rolls, please.
Everyone's drumming and rolling, and it
no,
is
just the
the
TP.
TP.
And the mirror comp does come out from both sides. Same Sigma comp.
Yes, indeed, but that TP is going to allow more space to come in for I Need Bullets here. And the Mei is already down. Pack finding that headshot exactly where it needed to be. You're going to be seeing now this Mei will get a little bit aggressive here. We're pushing up. Tread falls down to their own damage, and it's just going to be the rest of the team backing off here, not knowing exactly what to do without their tank. But interesting enough, SXJ actually trying to peek a little bit here.
Yeah, trying to build that ultimate up as quickly as possible. I mean, yeah, that Symmetra TP just gave I Need More Bullets sort of the advantage there in terms of positioning and then being able to just capitalize on Pack's wall and, you know, Pack's damage, essentially giving them the advantage in that fight, coming out on top.
Yes, indeed, but now Swiss, yes, moving over to the point, trying to take presence on it, but the Mei's holding it there by themselves, and so now Tread having to rotate to the whole ground, but actually it's going to be the Mei duel won by Abstract this time. Swiss, yes, has an advantage. They're going to be capping point here, splitting the focus, splitting the attention here. SXJ is going to find the pick onto the Baptiste, and that should be the domino that sets everything in motion for this cap to come through. Little bit of stall coming out, but unfortunately is not a whole lot. Swiss, yes, will take the point there.
Oh yeah, I think that was a beautiful play from Pack, being able to win that 1v1 duel against Abstract and then essentially forcing SXJ off of high ground and then in doing so forcing the remainder of Swiss yes to come and help him out. And essentially, you know, when you've lost high ground, the wise words of Obi-Wan Kenobi, you know, things get a little spicy there.
Yes, indeed. You always got to have the high ground, especially on a map like this. But now looking forward to this next one here, we're potentially going to see some ultimates built up and finally used on the third fight here. As more point presence being focused here, this time from I Need More Bullets. But it's just going to be a brawl back and forth before the Mei finally goes down. Tread finding their mark onto it here, and now a man down. I Need More Bullets is going to have to try to figure something out. Building up toward the Scorpidic Flux could be the answer, but not before SXJ takes Swaku out of the fight. And that is just going to be another nice little reset coming through.
Almost losing his life there, SXJ, but, you know, that railgun just providing that much burst, and especially in a poke comp, when you've got the Sigma and you've got the Baptiste just spamming away, you know, you think that any sort of amount of damage off of that railgun is just going to come in handy, but it seems like the entirety of the fight is just flipped on its head, and I Need More Bullets have now taken presence on the map.
Yes, indeed. The Gravitic Flux being committed from Tread here, just trying to regain some composure, but the beat was ready in to answer. Pack now on the point with the Blizzard, but SXJ decides to take Pack out with the Overclock here. Ult being expended on both sides, going back and forth here, but SXJ is finding the mark. The Baptiste taken out once again, and now as the members are starting to dwindle for I Need More Bullets, Divine is coming up with the answers. Gets 2 with the Overclock before being taken down here, but I think after all is said and all is done, it is going to be Swiss, yes, coming away with the point here as we're taking up to 90%.
Oh, and that's got to be painful. I Need More Bullets committing every ultimate they had, all 5 ultimates into that fight, and still coming up short. And I don't think... Oh, the ball has actually come through, and it is able to... Or the Mei actually is able to touch point and create overtime.
Yes, indeed, but without your Baptiste, you have no healing, no sustain on the point in the May. Already down here, it's on the Wrecking Ball, pretty much to sustain, trying to take out that Baptiste, but Luca is just too healthy, just too sustainable, and now it is just rolling and praying for an opportunity to come through. But now without your Lucio, your members are dwindling, you have nothing left in the tank here. It's just the Sojourn alive, not able to slide to the point. That is going to be Swiss, yes, taking the first round.
Oh, and we're into a very, very interesting series here. Swiss, yes, we're the ones who are pushed into the lower bracket here by Need More Bullets, and now are starting to shine already on that first point. I mean, coming out on top, I think, honestly, better ultimate usage coming in. SXJ getting a lot of value from that overclock. Ducio using that Lucio barrier very wisely. And yeah, it seems like Need More Bullets were a bit scrambled there, trying to just get as much value as possible, but not just always falling off short, really.
Yeah, I mean, you highlighted it. I Need More Bullets came into a certain fight with 5 ultimates, and they didn't find value from any of them. So it is going to be interesting to see, as we're still on the mirror here, Divine's going to TP them out of spawn once again.
They might come out on top in this first fight, similarly to how they played the first map of this King of the Hill. And yeah, with this kind of positioning, but it seems like this match of TP hasn't actually given them much value here.
Yes, indeed, but it does give them that May wall here. The lamp is forced out from Luca. It is going to be broken, but the Sigma is alive for the time being here. It is now just kind of a poke war back and forth. Both teams looking for their advantage here. Icicle's being fired off, but it is going to be Switch, yes, that has control of the point now, and it is going to be Yuki taken down by a rail shot from SXJ, just lighting it up on the Sojourn here. So now with only 4 members to their name, they've got to be able to figure something out for I Need More Bullets, and what they figured out is that they just need to respawn, and it looks like it's just going to be a fallback call.
Yeah, I mean, Abstract coming out with that May, we've seen how his May wall usage essentially just getting so much value, isolating players, and you saw that it forced Outsider to use the lamp quite early on in the fight.
Yes, indeed, and it seems like the fight's being taken to the spawn here as Pack is going to fall at the hands of the Sigma on the other side of it here. And look at how aggressive Swiss Yes is being. They know they have the advantage. They're just going to keep pushing it. The lamp's broken. It is going to be the call to keep going to the spawn doors. They're going to touch the spawn door challenge completed. Teabagging in the spawn doors. Absolutely toxic behavior. But, I mean, when you're dominating like that, you can.
It seems like a common thing from Swiss, yes, really, to do that spawn camping, just take the fight to them, not give them any time or any room to breathe, and just absolutely dominate them with their pressure. And now the ultimates are coming out.
Yes, indeed, it is going to be Divine to be the first one to fall, and Pack taken down next by Ducio, of all people. Lucio wanted to get involved. The Flux just for measure. I mean, this is brutal. This is somebody... Swiss, yes, they did not come to play any games. They said that you're in their house now in the lower bracket. You gotta respect them.
Oh yeah, they're definitely coming out with these mental games. Maybe that's the difference between a 2-3 for I Need More Bullets or a 2-3 for Swiss. Yes, I mean, just that mental, push to take those aggressive plays and take those, aggressive fights, really.
Yes, indeed, it is going to be the Blizzard out, but SXJ will be the one to find the killing blow onto Divine on the other side. This Sojourn duel's been very one-sided here, but it is going to be Luca now getting their hands dirty in the kill feed, and yeah, it's just all Swiss, yes. I mean, they've got some members alive, but it is going to be another run to the point to try to stall it out.
I don't think anybody's going to be able to get there on time, in fact. But 93% already in favor of Swiss, yes. Lucio's coming in onto the point, but just about able to touch and trigger that overtime as the Flux comes in.
Yes, it is, but Pack is already down. The beat committed to keep everybody healthy through the Flux here, but the picks are finally going in I Need Bullets' favor, but just as I say that, though, SXJ coming online with this overclock here. It is taken out by Yuki, though. It is a back-and-forth fight. Both teams throwing everything they have into this here. Abstract on the May, cutting the Lucio off to try to take down the Sigma, but the Lucio is able to get around the wall here. So now, I think, unless I am mistaken, unless there's another clutch factor coming in, it could be I Need Bullets, and as I say that, though, ooh, that's going to be a brutal headshot, and they just get off point for that half a second with how long the overtime was ticking. Swiss, yes, just needed that half second, and they were given it. That's going to be the first map.
Bit rich coming in from SXJ there. Considering on King's Road, they did end up giving away a C9 there, but it seems like now it's it's turned the table, and now it's come in their favor this time, giving them the map win. Now Swift 2-0, I mean, even after that fight going back and forth, it could have gone really either way. Yeah, it seemed like Swiss, yes, were able to come out on top of that engagement.
And they came out, I mean, we said it during the map. You saw it with the spawn hold, just with super crazy aggressive tempo, constantly being in the face of your enemy, not giving them a chance to even breathe or think. And, that can sort of be the difference in these Sigma comps, right? It all comes down to the tempo of the game. And when you're playing it that fast, it forces the enemy team to try to figure something out and adapt.
Yeah, and especially when you have that kind of pressure put on you, ultimates get thrown out. Maybe not trying to find as much value as possible. I mean, especially we saw a couple times coming in that the May Blizzard wasn't able to find any targets really, and people were just able to just fly around, and yeah, essentially just throwing it into the wind. So maybe that's something to look out for. Maybe some better ult usage as we go into Watchpoint Gibraltar here, which tends to be more of a dive centered map. But I mean, hey, with this Sigma comp, you can really play it anywhere.
Yes, indeed. You can play it anywhere. One thing I would like to see, obviously it was just to get people out of spawn, but potentially using the Symmetra here to kind of move the Sigma around the high grounds, at least on first point. I feel like there is some potential in that if either team chooses to run it here, but I need more bullets. They've kind of got to, regardless of what they want to run, they've got to have a bit of a mental reset, at least just take a deep breath, figure out what exactly happened there, because it wasn't pretty. They got rolled over.
Oh yeah, 100%. They were spawn camped for a large portion of that final point really, and Swiss yes really trying to get into the heads of I need more bullets in this rematch, just making the storyline that much more exciting really as we head into this second match of the series on Watchpoint Gibraltar.
Watchpoint Gibraltar, always a nice little map to see because even in the most dominant of, metas, right, we've always seen sort of dive have its place here on first and third point. Obviously, we could still see the Sigma comp, it just is one of those things you can run everywhere given just the nature of it and just how good that it is. But it would never hurt to see a little bit of Winston, a little bit of Diva action. Definitely has its place here with lots of high grounds across all 3 points. Potentially even some Widowmaker. And actually both teams showing us a different look.
Well, I am liking this. Yeah, it is actually more of a weird dive sort of hybrid coming in. I mean, I like Pack on the Tracer here. Swaku also on the Diva, trying to maintain that high ground pressure. And I mean, with the Ana and being protected by a Brig, playing a counter dive is going to be quite tough because, you ain't getting anywhere next to that Ana with Brig next to her.
Yeah, and it's just, that's the nature of Ana Brig, right? They just keep each other healthy for so long for just seemingly no reason here. But the difference in the comps here, it looks like it's going to be the DPS line here, the Tracer Ashe versus the Echo Mei. Not sure exactly how Mei is going to find all too crazy value on such a dive-heavy map, but we'll see how Abstract makes it work.
Yeah, I was actually thinking this Mei pick doesn't seem to be, in my opinion, the right move. I do prefer the lineup coming in with Pack on the Tracer and Divine on the Ashe, but yeah, with Mei, with such a mobile team comp coming in from I Need More Bullets, I mean, I don't think Abstract's going to be able to find anything from these Mei walls. They're just going to be able to fly out of it immediately.
Yes, indeed. And it seems like Abstract is just on cart duty here, pushing it until it gets contested by somebody on the other side here. But it is actually going to be the D-Mech coming through on Swaku. Getting a little bit too creative on the Diva is going to result in the loss of the mech here. Ashe drops to 1 HP before finally being healed up by the squad there. And now without your Diva, you have to give up so much space here. Meanwhile, Tread more than happy to get in your face, cause a bit of problems here. The question is, can they find the baby Diva before the remech? And because of the break healing, they weren't able to, but actually the Brig on the other side decides to shut it down. Pulse Bomb committed, nothing gained for it though. And then meanwhile, this cart's just been pushing the whole time. Tread will finally lose the mech here and just going to be shooting, trying to get that Bunny Blaster to get to another mech, but it will be interesting to see if the value's found. The Sleep Dart does not connect. Ducio is just in your face on the Brigitte here. The Brig just swinging freely, doing as they need, but actually taken down. Support's being taken down both sides. Everyone's trying to figure something out in this fight here, but it does seem like I Need More Bullets is finally coming out on top despite losing their DPS line. They should be able to hold this one. It is just the Brig and Diva here trying to fight it out. The Brig is focused down. Ultimately, it is seemingly not going to be enough. This fight just going on forever and ever. 2 self-destructs should put the pin in this, though. And yeah, that is going to be the point capped. I mean, absolute craziness back and forth, but that will be point A.
Yeah, I mean, that initial pick onto the Diva onto Swaku, really. And then also delaying that mini Diva from remeching, taking him down quite late into the fight. It's forcing Swiss into a very uncomfortable position and into a 4v5, and without your tank, you know, you're not able to contest much. And sure enough, I mean, they were able to push it the entire point with really only one fight breaking out.
Yes, indeed. And those one fights are the ones that you need here. Now we're seeing Swaku get really aggressive, knowing that they have bomb for safety probably, but jumping out of the ship, not wanting to risk anything too crazy here, breaking the lamp. And now we're seeing a nano brig on the other side. There's a lot of ults being committed, but it is going to net the favor of I Need More Bullets here. This defense will be able to get a good hold going once the Echo is down. But actually, yeah, there's a few picks on the other side, but they are able to hold.
Yeah, very interesting fight coming here. I mean, I do like the idea from Swiss trying to take the fight upstairs and into close range, especially when you've got this mate in hand. That really does give you the advantage, but somehow I Need More Bullets were able to pull something out of the hat and come out on top there. I guess maybe the sheer damage coming in from Divine and Yuki really were able to find a lot of picks, and Pack comes in immediately, swinging the odds in their favor.
Yes, indeed. And so now this fight is more of just a cleanup here. The lamp going to be broken. The Ashe is firing shots, going to take down Luca in the end here. The Diva just simply trying not to lose mech, does end up losing it anyway, so it is a bit of a stagger. You're going to have to either walk back to spawn or find a way to perish their Tread, because you're going to need that mech back before your team can do anything.
And this second point is really the scariest one on Watchpoint Gibraltar. It's so hard to take any sort of space really with the enemy team just posted up on high ground, especially on top of that airship really.
Yes, indeed, as we're seeing now more fighting for the airship occur here. Bob is going to be the first thing thrown out. It's into the room with the entirety of Swiss here, but I do not think Bob will be able to sustain for long, as they are just forced out into the ship here. SXJ gonna lose the duplicated mech, so now just a baby diva in a grown mech diva world here, trying to figure something out. Finally gonna come out of that dupe, nothing gained for it, and SXJ dropping incredibly low thanks to the Ashe, but will get the healing from Luca on the cart here. So now this fight still going on, everybody's poking back and forth, but we're on board with Pax, who has the pulse bomb. He's going to be looking to drop this exactly where it needs to be, but Luca, interestingly, has the amplification matrix. The pulse bomb does not connect in the way it needs to here, and this is all just buying space. The cart inching slowly ever closer towards the end of the point here. We're seeing this nano brig come out once again here. Will the rally be committed in addition? We will have to see, but that is going to be the brig taken down on the other side, and now taking the fight into their own hand. Yuki is just deciding, I will do it, but it is not enough. Abstract will actually take the brig out of the fight here. Picks going back and forth here, but the mech diva on the cart is going to be the one you're looking for. Swaku just absolutely raining damage. Even if you are able to destroy that mech, there's a self-destruct lying in wait here, and Tread is taken down, but there is a blizzard committed to the cart. It seems like Abstract believes they can turn this one now that they have the brig reinforcements here, but nothing gained from that blizzard. Divine's gonna find Ducio, and this should finally go again in the favor of I Need More Bullets.
I mean, it is the nature of these poke comps really, just sort of whittling down the enemy team and just slowly coming out on top. And in doing so, it's going down so slowly that these respawns are coming in, and just these fights are just never ending, especially with Yuki then swapping to the Kiriko, trying to TP in and get some healing done from, you know, just immediately from spawn, from respawn. And now Pack coming in with another pulse bomb, fortunately eaten though by Tread.
Yeah, Tread was there ready to gobble that one up in a flash here. Now it's going to be another attempt to try to take this high ground, but it's actually Abstract moving over to the cart. You know, one Icicle can take Pack out of the fight if it connects with the head here. So that is going to be what you're looking out for. Recall forced by those Echo Sticky Bombs here. So now Pack having to play a little bit more safer, a little bit more passive, as another amplification matrix from Luca, this time on a very clear high ground, and it allows Pack to finally fall at the hands of Ducio here. The Bob is going to be creating a lot of pressure on cart here, but they are able to burst it down. They have the damage. They're now going to see a dupe into the backline with the Ashe. Throws a dynamite before finally being forced out. The point almost capped, and it is finally going to be capped. There's just nobody from I Need More Bullets to be able to stop that one.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of respect coming in from Swiss, yes, but eventually, you know, you're going to have to contest this point. You can't just keep giving up map control, and in doing so, you know, the pressure coming in from Divine, from SXJ's Echo, really, especially coming in with that duplicate, or that replicate, was able to just apply just so much damage and so much pressure.
Yes, indeed. But now the Echo given up, both sides going to be on this Widowmaker, and the Widow duel will be something you want to watch out for. But what's in your face here and now is Ducio's rally being just super aggressive, throwing themselves into the front line, being another tank. But Divine will find the first pick onto Abstract here. That is a nice little shot onto the Brig, but it will not find the kill that you're looking for. But one pick is enough for this defense to finally get some stabilization they're going to need here on third point. Oh, but SXJ actually answering on the other side, taking the Ana out as we're in just more of a poke war.
Oh, and we can see actually SXJ and both Divine going onto this Widowmaker are being pushed immediately by Swaku there. Unable to confirm the kill, though. He does end up... No, he's still alive. SXJ is still going. The Diva Bomb's committed to try and take him down. And he does indeed end up falling, finally. And somehow... and I Need More Bullets is coming out on top of this fight.
I mean, yeah, that was just a chaotic little shindig that happened in the corner without your Diva. Divine was doing too much on the Widowmaker here, now having the sights online for what will be the final fight here. It is just going to be these shots rattled off one after another here. The Mei is not safe. The Blizzard committed to trying to zone people out. Ducio will get to the cart, but it will not last for long. Now everyone trying to rush to the cart, but they're not going to be able to make it. There will be a defensive hold here on third for I Need More Bullets.
Wow, just an actual... I don't really think there's been anything specific to be really pointed out as to why a certain team has come out on top. I mean, they did end up mirroring each other's comps towards the end, and I think maybe that's where it really shone. The fact that they just gave too much respect to the Widowmaker and just, you know, gave up so much space and just, you know, weren't able to commit enough resources for it.
Yeah, and I mean, might have just kind of been that crazy commitment that we saw on the Widowmaker at the end there, but it also helps that they had a pretty solid B defense, right? Considering how fast A got capped, they were able to stall out a lot of that time bank here on B with some good fights within the dropship. So now looking towards this offense here, I mean, I Need More Bullets. They have a path to tie the series up 1-1, but, you know, getting to Gibraltar third is no guarantee.
Yeah, I mean, but interestingly, looking at these comps, we did end up questioning the Mei pick. What do you make of it so far after seeing it on the offense here?
I think it was very interesting because it, like, obviously they had the Mei, but I think the other thing that went under the radar was the Baptiste, right? Luca stayed on that one for the entirety of the map. It means that your Brig doesn't get those nanos, doesn't get that level of on appeal, but it just is another damage dealer in the lineup, something you have to worry about. So I think looking forward, Abstract might have to continue to be playing this sort of cart game mode here as we're seeing a symmetric TP.
Oh yeah, it seems like the same comps are coming out though from I Need More Bullets, you know, coming out with a pack on the Tracer. And UK on probably the nano boosted Brig later on, as we saw on that second point, which worked out pretty well for them and was able to garner them quite a lot of space.
Yes, indeed. Now space being slowly but surely taken here. You're seeing some wraparounds trying to get to the high ground here. Both supports peeling for each other, so those sticky bombs are negated pretty effectively. Now the Divas again just butting heads, trying to take space from each other, trying to open up an opportunity for their team. But it is just more of this poke war back and forth as the cart slowly moves towards the back half.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough thing to try and commit to a fight here, especially, you know, with Abstract on the Mei. You can easily get put out of position, and as we can see here immediately, Swaku does get demeched.
Yes, indeed, that DMEC is going to be brutal, but it is going to have to open up an opportunity here because Swaku actually takes down SXJ on the Echo. That finishing damage needed there. The Mei forced into Ice Block. Abstract actually going to come out of it to try to take Swaku down. Ends up doing it here, and this is just a nice little resurgence for the defense. The Lamp is going to keep that mech in Tread's favor, going to keep it online here, and despite a little bit of chaos poke, it seems like this defense is holding for Swiss Yes.
Yeah, definitely working. I mean, we saw it on the first point, or sorry, in the first attack. Really, the Diva being demeched was the vital trigger to give up all that space and to allow Swiss Yes to really go on the offense. And Pack coming in with a beautiful pulse bomb onto Ducio, start this fight off.
Yes, indeed, but it is traded out. Divine is taken down on the other side here, so now the Amplification Matrix is committed. Luca's going to be putting out extra damage, extra heals, somehow, some way here, and out Cider is going to drop low on the Ana, finally falling low, not before delivering that nano exactly where it needed to be, I believe, onto the break, but unfortunately it just seems like it was not enough here because Abstract put on a killing spree here in this tiny server room, but this cart actually hasn't been moving all too much, so this defense is holding strong.
Yeah, I mean, the only issue here with the nano boost onto the Brig is that then the Ana is just sort of left on her lonesome with Brig just sort of swinging away aggressively at the enemy team. Tread was able to go aggressively and dive Outsider and just take him out. And, you know, that's a lot of their healing just completely taken out of the fight there.
Yes, indeed. And now for this defense here, you're seeing Tread drop incredibly low. Should be able to keep the mech just barely. That anti-nade only going to land onto Ducio here and using the self-destruct to make sure that mech can come back nice and healthy. That's exactly what you need to do. Abstract looking for somewhere to drop this Blizzard here, but it's not before the Bob is committed first. On the other side of things, Divine is going to be just absolutely free-firing with Bob to help. Tread going to be taking out Swako on the other side, first the mech and then the baby diva, and you know, there's just a lot of ground being lost here, no purchase being found by the offense.
Honestly, I mean, there's so much pressure coming in from the diva. I mean, honestly, the Mei might be the right move here. I mean, with that extra health pool, you don't have to worry too much about keeping them alive. I'm surprised SXJ has been as aggressive as he is, considering his support lineup. And on the other team, in fact, I'm surprised Pac's able to get this much value, considering Luca is playing that Baptiste, and with that lamp available, I mean, you should be able to deny a lot of those pulse bombs. But let's see if Pac can make something work here once again.
Yes, indeed, as we're heading towards what could be the final fight here, unless this offense can figure something out to cap point A. They are putting a little bit of pressure on the cart here, but most of this fight is taking place on the high ground, just going back and forth, fighting for control of it. It seems as though they're just going to be poking back and forth here, but Abstract takes down Pac with a well-aimed icicle, and that's going to be the catalyst for the fall here. The Ana already taken out. The Blizzard on cart means if you touch, you're going to get frozen, so nobody touches, and that's going to be Swiss Yes, moving up to 2-0 in the series.
This is a different sort of Swiss yes that we're seeing against I Need More Bullets. I mean, previously the game was a bit back and forth. I mean, in the previous series, should I say, it was a bit more back and forth. But now it seems like Swiss yes taking that second map on Gibraltar might be the missing link for them, and that inches them one step closer to going into this grand finals to meet Team Schweppes.
Yes, indeed. Obviously, they want that grand finals more than anything here, but you know, that sort of motivation that Swiss Yes found potentially in a revenge match, I Need More Bullets could very easily find it here, realizing that their tournament life is now on the line. They cannot drop another map in this series, and, you know, they certainly have had their moments, right? You know, Pac landed some pretty good pulse bombs despite there being a lamp on the other side. There is value, there is power on this team, and maybe just sort of the dive comp wasn't in their favor. Maybe if we can force it back to something more traditional like that Sigma comp we saw on map 1, it could sort of shift the tides in their favor.
I mean, I think that is the case, right? These teams have been playing the Sigma comp on almost every map. And in doing so, I mean, you get more practice, you get more used to how the comp should be played, when you should be going aggressive, when you should be playing passive. And I mean, when you have those very, very niche maps like Gibraltar, where you're playing a bit differently, you're playing a different comp and you're relying on different sort of strategies, it is a bit harder for you to get that, you know, that aggression when it's necessary and really close out those fights. And that's really what we were seeing as a big issue. Those fights were being prolonged for so long, and they just lost it until respawns came in, and, you know, eventually the fight ended up, you know, ending the wrong way.
You know, ended the wrong way, but on the other side of it, I mean, it ended the right way, exactly how it needed. And it was, you know, through that interesting composition on Gibraltar, right? As we sort of talked about, Abstract on the Mei, Gibraltar always interesting when you kind of have that cart dynamic, but, you know, we can't look towards the past, we can only look towards the future, especially if you're I Need More Bullets here. You know, we've set the stage, right? These teams, it is going to be the match point from here on out. Even if you're able to win this one, it is an uphill battle, but, you know, you got to be able to bounce back in these sort of tournament situations.
Yeah, nerves are definitely high for both teams, really. I mean, Swiss, yes, this could mean one map win, and they're into the grand finals against Team Schweppes, but I Need More Bullets. They've got a long way to go before they're able to get that position back and get that rematch back, albeit it was a pretty tough 3-0 against them for Team Schweppes when they did face off against them in the winners final. But yeah, as we can see here, a bit of a different comp setup here.
Yes, indeed. I'm not buying that offense until I see it walk out of spawn. But for the defense, pretty much the standard Sigma comp. But instead of Sigma, we have Reinhardt, a King's Row classic. For those of you who remember Overwatch 1 fondly here, Abstract just going to take a nice little pop shot on the Widow here before actually getting off of the Sigma comp. We're keeping our support line, but we are going to be going over to the Orisa.
Interesting little play. I mean, SwissYes did end up facing up against any more bullets on this point, on this map, and chose to run the Sigma, but this time bringing out the Orisa, and it might prove very deadly against the Reinhardt here, which Swaku have picked up.
Yes, but unfortunately the deadly is going to be in Abstract's favor first. This May has just been brutal throughout the entire series here. Slowly but surely this Ryan comp is being forced back, thrown into a hole. SXJ going to find their opposite number on the other side. Divine taken down, also taking down the Reinhardt. And yeah, Orisa is just the opposite to the Rhine. Able to take so much space, take so much aggression here, and that is going to be the point going towards SwissYes.
And as you rightly mentioned, yeah, Orisa being the anti-Ryan does end up forcing Swaku to swap onto the Sigma, and now Tread's playing a little game here, swapping onto the Reinhardt. So a little all over the place. I don't think we've seen Tread on the Reinhardt yet, so this should be very interesting.
Yeah, and the Tread Reinhardt comes out from Swaku going back over to that Sigma. So it is going to be sort of both these styles clashing once more here. Interesting that you opt to the Rhine. It might mean that you want to play a tad bit faster than even the fastest you were playing on Antarctic Peninsula here, but that wall and the blizzard's going to come through first. It is going to be Pack finding insane value. The lamp is committed, but I don't think it's going to be able to keep Tread online here, even with the amplification matrix committed from Luca. So now it is just an amplification matrix trying to find value. It ultimately does not here, but SXJ shooting through it is able to build up towards this overclock, but it seems like we're just poking back and forth for now.
It does seem like that way, but I did want to point out just a little slight outplay coming in from Pack, predicting the Reinhardt pin, and immediately using the cryo freeze to sort of block it and force him to stay in the blizzard, giving them that man advantage and really forcing back SwissYes into spawn.
Yes, indeed. Now, the side of SwissYes on this offense, they're having to wait for SXJ to respawn on the Sojourn, finally coming back into this one. They have tools of their own to commit, like the overclock. They could build up towards the blizzard as well here, but on the other side of it, you got to worry about Outsiders amplification matrix here. The walls being committed by both teams here. They're able to get the value. They're able to stop the window, at least for a moment. Overclock's being shot. No heads being found just yet. Both teams committing a lot. No value found. But it is going to be potentially these gravitic flux that are going to be the things that finally decide this fight one way or another. Getting around the wall is going to be Swaku. The blizzard actually being thrown out by the offense here. Abstract finally got it online. Not before Swaku could throw something out on that gravitic flux. Finds nothing, but what is found is Divine's head on Abstract's platter here, and it is just going to be the call for a disengage, keep the other four alive. But the lamp's already committed. Do you commit the beat here as well to this flux here? You decide not to. You actually commit the beat too late. It means that Swaku's going to go down. Now this defense is starting to crumble. They've got to completely fall back here. All those ult used for nothing.
It's a long extended fight. Yeah, lots of ultimates used. Even UK just committing that sound barrier, now giving SwissYes that sort of advantage in terms of the ult economy. Even Luca coming in with that amplification matrix. It's going to spell a tough time and a tough fight. And in fact, they do have to give up this second point completely to SwissYes and falling back, trying to see if they can build up anything for their ult economy.
Yes, indeed, and they're going to be able to build it up beautifully off of this amplification matrix. The wall used to stop it for at least a minute, make sure nobody falls to it unnecessarily here. The Sojourn now trying to take an off-angle Divine, but is going to be found out, though, and there's a lot of pressure coming through. Meanwhile, Pack is going to be walking forward, committing the blizzard. The Sigma is able to escape for only a moment before Tread's finally taken down. SXJ finds Pack, but not before that Lucio brawl goes in Yuki's favor here. The lamp being committed to keep Luca alive, alone on the high ground, all by himself. But SXJ with these picks, but these picks just aren't enough.
And that's gotta hurt though for Ducio, committing that Lucio barrier to try and save everybody from Pack's blizzard. But Pack's still able to find, 2 kills of his own and just, swing the fight in their favor.
Yes, indeed, as now we're back on the cart once again. Both teams trying to rectify those ult banks that they've spent ever so frivolously. And now it is just more space, more poke happening here. You're probably looking towards either of these Sojourns, but it is going to be Ducio striking first. And now SXJ Overclock Online will take Outsider out of the fight here. Everything's coming up Swiss Yes in the kill feed, and they're pushing towards the end of this map.
It seems like this macro play coming in from Swiss Yes is really what's making the difference between the two teams. I mean, ult usage isn't the greatest, I will be honest. I mean, the Overclock not getting too much value, the Mei Blizzard not getting too much value. As I just say, he has thrown it out into spawn and it's zoned off their entire enemy team and given them map completion, really.
And that is not what you want when you're on match point, right? I need more bullets. They needed to be able to kind of figure something out, right? They thought they had something with the Rhine. They got counterpicked with the Orisa. But even when we went back to that Sigma v Sigma mirror, you know, it just, again, seems like Swiss Yes had the answers at the right time every single time. And now they've got a Herculean task. They've got to complete King's Row.
2 minutes 50 left on the clock. Yeah, for Swiss Yes. And it does seem like a very much Herculean, as you well rightly put it, very much an uphill battle there for I Need More Bullets. And I'm not sure what they're going to have to pull out the hat here. Will Swaku stick with a Reinhardt? Will he go to the Sigma? Or will he actually fancy an Orisa? I think it seems like he's going with what he knows, sticking with the Sigma.
And I mean, the thing when you're in doubt, you know, you don't want to sort of mess around too much. You don't want to try to get creative, trying to make a hero play. You want to play what you know and play it well. But as I say that, you know, they're still in the spawn. There's 10 to get time to switch, but they're looking at a Zarya at least showing it, you know, and also Divine on that Bastion. This could be an interesting little rollout if they choose to commit to it.
You know, the Zarya can be very good against the Mei. I mean, I'd prefer the Sigma in that kind of scenario. And in fact, there it is. It does end up swapping to the Sigma. Divine, though, on the Bastion, as I say that, swaps to the Sojourn, so never mind. I guess we're seeing the exact same comp as previous, heading into this attack point.
Yes, indeed, and they're going to have to find some confidence on it, otherwise they're going to be looking at elimination here. Swiss, yes, they're just going to be wrapping around this statue over and over again. Maywall already used for pack here, not going to find exactly what it needs, but Abstract actually will go down to just some damage from Divine. That's the opening of the door that you need here, as we're seeing point pressure come out from I Need More Bullets. Divine deciding to finally come online, exactly what you need your Sojourn to be the hero player, and everybody from Swiss Yes just forced out in a rapid fashion as point A will be capped.
You could see the pressure that Abstract puts onto the enemy team there, especially on this first point with the Maywall. So taking him out immediately was just absolutely beautiful play, and also coming in pack, just creating the staggers more and more so, and just pushing the entirety of Swiss Yes back into spawn, but not before cleaning them all up.
Yes, indeed, and these staggers are exactly what you need here. The cart not moving though. Outsider's going to go ahead and fix that one, but yeah, I mean, stagger picks like that, that's how you can get some good momentum going, and you're definitely going to need it.
I mean, it's classic support life, really, just staying on the payload here, just chilling. I mean, he does have his amplification matrix ready to go. No ult charge necessarily needed to build up. And I mean, we could see that similarly to Luca. He's also just got his online. The ult economy does seem to be favoring Swiss Yes here. So I'm not really sure who's going to come out on top. It's quite close, but only slightly in favor of Swiss Yes, as the amplification matrix does end up coming out.
Yes, indeed, but unfortunately the value not found from it, so maybe this Flux can find the purchase that is needed here. Looking for someone to grab. Grabs is actually going to be 3 grabbed up from it. Will there be any follow-up? The Lamp might be able to prevent that. The amplification matrix now coming out on the other side with the Blizzard. Swaku will take down Tread with the accretion here, and it's just all quickly from the Blizzard in the kill feed. Team kill will ring out, and this car will keep on moving.
The trust coming in from UK there onto Outsider, not committing that sound barrier on 1 HP. Tread just about misses the shots and goes down, gets saved. Nobody actually found from that Graviton Flux. And yeah, it seems like I Need More Bullets come out on top of that fight.
Yes, indeed, the Flux now being committed from Swaku here to try to make sure this point gets capped, but there will still be a touch and an engage from Swiss Yes on the defense here, trying to find something here. The Lamp having to be committed, as well as the B to keep Swaku alive here, but Divine is coming up the hero, finds one pick. Can it be a second one? There it is on the SXJ. No DPS in sight for Swiss Yes. They're going to have to find some other way to win this fight out, and it with Ducio down, I think it's only a matter of time before point B is capped here. but there is still a little bit of stall. The Baptiste trying to keep the Sigma alive. Tread will finally fall, and Luca soon to follow with point B with 5 minutes in the bank.
Divine is online, as you correctly said. I mean, he's just been popping off. As soon as that overclock comes into his hands, he's just going to town. And just Swiss Yes's absolute demise. They're all just falling. And beautifully played by I Need More Bullets here.
Absolutely, and now this defense is struggling to find purchase. It could be off the back of this blizzard from Abstract here, at least going to be zoning people back, creating a bit of space here. Swaku gonna have to have the lamp thrown onto them in order to stay up in this fight here, but everyone's healthy. Ducio is going to go down, and now the amplification matrix on the other side is going to be needed. Both of them dueling back and forth, but the DPS on the side of Swiss, yes, Abstract in particular, just absolutely lighting it up, and that is going to be another cap, and they're pinging. They know the Lucio's up there.
This actually might be crucial if they take down UK here. They do end up staggering him quite a bit, but I mean, that entire fight was just all down to Abstract, really. As I mentioned earlier on that first point, Abstract's Maywalls are just absolutely clinical, being able to cut Suwaku off from the rest of his team. And then, I mean, with the amplification matrix already up, there was no way he was getting out of that situation alive.
Exactly, could not have said it more, and now this defense has a lot more tools to work with here for this next fight. Both teams going to commit Gravitic Fluxes here. It is going to be Tread to go first, though. It is going to be dropping low for Swaku, but he does end up living thanks to that mortality field, as well as just being able to absorb things with the kinetic grasp here. Now Tread being forced off of the high ground, but straight into another Gravitic Flux here on the other side. The beat was waiting for it. Ducio able to do exactly what was needed, but what they weren't ready for was the Blizzard from Pack. It freezes everybody up. The follow-up damage is there, and this cart's going to roll. Potentially, we're going to see a mirrored time bank.
Yeah, this is looking very good for I Need More Bullets. I mean, UK coming in with the sound barrier in his pocket. Divine does have almost his overclock available pretty much. No ultimates ready for Swiss, yes, and this is going to prove quite a task for them to come out on top.
Yes, indeed. Here they're going to have to figure something out. SXJ over to the Bastion could be the answer here, but the Sigma's already down. The beat committed to keep everybody nice and healthy here. Abstract has another Blizzard. Can it find the purchase needed, especially with Pack already out of the fight? But you're still losing members while you're sitting in that ice block, Abstract. You've got to figure something out. The headshot, it is going to be Outsider taken down here, not before you finally fall. And although the slight lead goes to Swish, yes, the Herculean task has been completed. You've capped King's Row.
Wow, yeah. Honestly, I did not expect this game to turn out this close. 18 seconds is what separates these two teams after capping both 3 points on King's Row. Yeah, quite the task to just even cap all 3 points on King's Row. But yeah, I mean, with 18 seconds apart, they've got quite a bit of time here to play with.
Both teams going to find purchase here, or want to find purchase here, I should say, in their second offenses. Of course, it is going to be I Need More Bullets going first with that 18-second deficit. And 18 seconds, you know, in the world of Overwatch, that's pretty much going to be another fight if you play it fast enough, or at least another touch potential. So, that could be the difference in this match here. But, I mean, looking at that offense, I think it's safe to say that what you're looking for is you need Divine to come online exactly like he did.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, similarly to SXJ, both these Sojourn players have just had miraculous plays come out, especially when Overclock's ready to go, and just taking down the entire enemy team with that kind of pressure that you have. Especially because the Lucio players, they're not really saving their sound barrier for it. They've got so many things to worry about. They've got the Gravitic Flux, they've got the Blizzard. They've just got so many things to use that for. Using or committing it for the Sojourn just seems almost a waste, and it just allows Divine to just run rampant.
Yes, indeed. So now we'll see if those Sojourns are allowed to run rampant, or if somebody will finally put them in their place. As we're seeing Tread already focused down here. The kinetic grasp canceled by the rock. Tread fallen, not realizing the tempo. Divine will be the one to get the final blow here, and now it is space being created on the point here. Abstract, no ice block to your name, and SXJ will also fall. That is going to be a first cap coming through in a blazing place for I Need More Bullets.
Absolutely clinical, and yeah, honestly, super quick. Only 2 picks really coming out from I Need More Bullets, and they were able to cap the point here. Unfortunately, that means that currently no ultimates are anywhere near available for either team, so this is going to be just another raw fight, which might mean I Need More Bullets get the advantage here.
Yes, indeed, and they still have time to work with. We're not even in an overtime situation yet, so they can play the map as they see fit. And it is going to probably be them wanting to go first here with Outsiders Amplification Matrix will be the first thing online. So with the Maywall creating space, Pack trying to push forward onto the Sigma once again, committing the Blizzard, but actually killed out of it, not able to commit it. And now the Amplification Matrix from Outsiders just trying to turn the tide. Is at least creating a bit of space here, but this space is only temporary. There's only so long that you can hold it without your May, and you're already seeing the resurgence come back in. Treads walking forward. The W key is being held here. The space is being retaken, and now it's just a re-engage or a reset.
SwissYes being careful not to commit any ultimates to that fight, just going for a dry run, and now the final fight is coming in, and that is when you want to use all your ultimates. Just absolutely flurry onto the enemy players. And just go to town, as SXJ is clearly showing us with this overclock, taking out Swaku and taking down Divine. Surely, with 7 seconds left now, time is ticking and they've got not much to play with. Overtime's about to spark.
Yes, indeed, the overtime is going to be the thing that sets the nail in the coffin here. The B actually comes through. The May is saved. But Hawk lives, and now the Gravitic Flux on the other side of things. It picks up quite a few players. Can there be follow-up, though? Ducio is the first one to fall. Tread falls next. SXJ is actually the last bastion standing here. This offense is not done yet. They're still moving.
A fight which I thought was absolutely surely done for SwissYes. Somehow, I Need More Bullets claw together their ultimates. That Gravitic Flux getting so much value, doing so much damage onto the players of SwissYes. And now, I Need More Bullets find themselves facing another fight and prolonging this overtime.
Yes, indeed. SXJ over to the Symmetra, trying to get everybody back to this card to make sure that there's a point B contest. They don't want this card to move any further. Ducio going to commit the B. It gets them aggressive here. SwissYes trying to find a pick with it, and it is going to be Luca, the one that is found. Now without that Baptiste healing, everyone's going to be struggling. But the Blizzard actually committed. It's going to try to zone everybody off the cart here. Pack finds Abstract, but it is just going to be back and forth right now. And either team has a Lucio, but Divine and Pack are the heroes needed in this moment. This cart is still moving. This offense is still kicking.
Ducio committing that Lucio beat very early on into fight, trying to get that tempo, trying to get that aggression out, but in doing so allows Pack to get that much more value out of his Blizzard, because there's just nothing to counter it. The damage, they're just all standing still. All the damage is just, you know, going out immediately onto them, as SXJ now actually swaps his Symmetra. A little change here.
Yes, indeed, the Symmetra almost built up a sim wall because he's been trying to TP people out of spawn to get another fight going. The Amplification Matrix from Outsider is going to be thrown into this one, trying to do exactly what it does, but unfortunately, the value's not there now. Swaku's going to be the first one to fall. The beat is not going to be received by the Sigma in time here, and this is going to be the end of the offense here, but you pushed it pretty damn far, and that's going to be a high mark for SwissYes to hit on their offense.
Almost all the way through. I mean, hey, that was a pretty good attempt here from I Need More Bullets, managing to take 2 points, or 2.5 points really, using that similar comp. I think it was mostly just, yeah, down to that ultimate usage, just not overcommitting, and unfortunately more so the mishaps coming in from Ducio, which could have prevented them from capping that second point, unfortunately, but you know, they were able to stop them from full capping the map. So good look on the bright side sometimes.
Yes, indeed. And now the shoe's on the other foot, right? You know, after that first offense we were talking about, there's no way I Need More Bullets is going to be able to cap this with as much time, you know. But they've answered back in kind here on Kings Row, and they now sort of flipped the situation right now. With just 2 minutes to their name, you're going to have to get at least halfway through point C is where that cart stopped. And, you know, that's not a guarantee by any means here. It is going to be just on the raw power of SwissYes, you know, coming together, trying to figure out exactly how to stop this offense, or how to stop this defense, rather.
Yeah, I think this initial fight's definitely going to come down to Abstract SXJ picking that Widowmaker, trying to see if he can get a pick to straight off, give them the advantage. Unfortunately, unable to find anything. He will probably swap onto that Sojourn indeed. And yeah, I think it really is just up to Abstract, trying to see if he can get a really good Maywall off on Swaku to start off this fight.
Yes, indeed. So now both teams just prodding and poking around Statue, but Divine will find purchase first onto Luca. That means the majority of your healing is gone. Tread will damage themselves with their own recoil, taken out of the fight here. Meanwhile, Divine trying to take it, so just ignoring SXJ, actually, just dueling in the backline.
And somehow now I Need More Bullets come out on top, and this is spelling very bad for Swiss. Yes, I mean, they do still have the map lead. They are still 2-0 up currently, but I mean, you want to get that through. You want to go to that grand finals. Let's see if they can make it happen here.
And that's not how you make it happen. Pack finding Ducio is just going to be another call for reset here. The question is, this offense continue to engage? But actually, Abstract trades it out. Divine taken down potentially on an off ankle here. So now 4v4, lacking a Lucio. This offense will slowly walk forward. The May wall is not going to find the Sigma here, so there probably is going to be a re-engage from this defense.
Yeah, the recontest will come in. I mean, Pack is very close to that Blizzard, and that's going to spell danger for Swiss, yes, especially with Ducio only at 40% coming into this fight.
Yes, indeed. Amplification Matrix committed, but there's a wall in it, so that way it doesn't get its maximum value. The wall broken. Tread drops incredibly low. Is able to stay alive by hiding around the side of the hotel there, but Divine finds purchase first. XJ taken out. But meanwhile, on the other side of it, Pack, the May no longer in it. The lamp is committed, but actually the point is capped right out from under their noses. This defense wasn't on point for that last second, and that's all that needed to occur.
An absolute vital pick for Swiss, yes, there, taking down Pack, the only person with an ult available. That was the game-winning plan, to take them all down, with Ducio still not having sound barrier available. I mean, that was, yeah, the gaming-winning plan, and unfortunately, after falling, it all followed suit, and Swiss, yes, were able to cap that first point with 15 seconds currently left on the clock.
Yes, indeed, and they're building up towards every single ultimate. Both teams, minus the amplification matrix for the side of I Need More Bullets. Outsider using that one in the fight previous here, so it is going to be a heavy ult fight. We'll see who comes out on top. The Blizzard committed first here is going to actually freeze everybody up. Will there be follow-up on it, though? It is. Outsider and Swaku are both going to fall, and the fact that this offense was able to win off of the back of just a Blizzard is monumental for this card to keep pushing.
Absolutely insane usage and insane value coming in. As you mentioned, from Abstract, they were only able to commit that one ultimate, and now with the rest of the team having their ults online, this is a surefire way of how to win this second point. But similarly, on the other side, you can see that 4 players of I Need More Bullets also are about to have their ultimates ready, so it could just be an even trade here. Who gets the most value out of their own ultimates? Let's find out.
The overclock's dueling, but it is going to be Pack falling at the hands of some Ducio damage through the amplification matrix. The beats committed from both sides. Actually, Ducio doesn't get his beat off. He dies before it can go through. Swaku's Gravitic Flux is finding the purchase it needs here. Divine coming up massive in the kill feed. That is going to be all she wrote, and this series is not done yet. I Need More Bullets found some purchase on King's Row.
Absolute beautiful ult usage coming in. I mean, from Swaku, did you see that Gravitic Flux managing to take out almost everybody into the skies, giving that pressure, forcing Divine to play onto the point. And I mean, yeah, just that sheer pressure, the sheer ult usage coming in, just managed to push I Need More Bullets into a map 4.
Yes, indeed. And, you know, that confidence that we saw Swiss, yes, rock out with on their, those first 2 maps, it might be starting to diminish as I Need More Bullets. They've sort of woken up, they've shaken off these sort of jitters that they may have had here. And it's just going to be a very interesting series moving forward now that I Need More Bullets seems to have fully waken up and come online.
100%. I mean, I thought surely because, you know, they Swiss, yes, were able to come out on top, getting the first 2 maps in their favor. The mental was in their favor. Everything was going well for them, as opposed to the previous time they faced off against I Need More Bullets, where it was a bit more back and forth. But now I Need More Bullets said, nah, they're not out of it just yet. And I mean, they were able to claw one back, and now they're going to be taking us to Colosseo for this next map. And I'm not really sure what we're going to be expecting here. I mean, possibly similar comps. I mean, you know, you can't really go wrong with the Sigma comp. They did try spice it up a bit on King's Row, but I think that's just, you know, King's Row trying to be, King's Row just being the best map in the game. I'm just keeping straight right there.
I mean, yeah, I mean, that about sums it up, right? And you saw exactly what happened the second that you got off the Sigma, right? There was the Rhine, the Orisa countered the Rhine, you played the rock, paper, scissors, you lost the rock, paper, scissors, so you sort of just resign yourself to the Sigma duel because both these teams have been able to, you know, win some solid maps on it. You know, this isn't a comp that it's just, oh, it's the meta, we have to play it. Both these teams genuinely look incredible on these compositions. Abstract's May has been absolutely crazy. Sojourns on both sides, Divine and SXJ have been lights out at points here. So now, as we are on Colosseo, the question is, how is this first fight going to go, and how long is it going to last in that tunnel?
Yeah, I mean, as you just said, like the sheer performances coming in from these DPS players, SXJ and Abstract, in my opinion, just have been absolutely phenomenal. Divine coming online when his team needed it most. It was just, yeah, it's just the difference maker, really. The slightest things at this sort of level in top tier Overwatch, like those slight timings with ultimates, the slight value you can get are really what changes the map and changes the fight into your favor.
Absolutely, I couldn't have said it better myself. Here as we're heading towards this long hallway of Coliseo, the glass in place, everybody loves it, you know it, you love it, and it is going to be these teams meeting up here, just ready to poke each other out, waiting for the slip up, waiting for the Maywall, the advantage to come through, and Pack already getting aggressive. Going in, trying to find some purchase here, walling off the Sojourn on the other side, the Lamp having to be committed for the side of Swiss. Yes, here, Luca throwing that one out a little early, but now Lamp's actually traded on both sides here. The Sigma dropping incredibly low. Tread is able to live here, and this poke war is just continuing back and forth. No purchase on the bot happening, and it's just continuing to poke until somebody finds something.
You can see the patience coming in. I mean, Pack able to find that headshot onto Divine, and as soon as that was called, the Lucio speed boost came in, the pressure was on. But unfortunately, they aren't able to capitalize and get the kill or get any sort of man advantage, as Pack has just actually taken out of Abstract to start off this fight.
Yes, indeed. And now that's the Blizzard being committed, knowing there's nothing to stop it on the other side. Tread frozen up is going to be all that you need in this fight here to finally get the bot moving. It is going to be Divine getting some cleanup picks here, but it's just sort of icing on the cake as we're seeing the bot start to make its way.
I mean, yeah, similarly to King's Row, we have Outsider just playing on the bot as the rest of his team tries to build up that ult charge, tries to sort of match the rest of Swiss. Yes, as you can see, Tread, Luca, SXJ, almost every player is really close to getting their ultimate here. Will easily swing the fight in their direction if they need it to be.
Yes, indeed, and Luca actually falling is going to be disastrous because, again, that Baptiste is so much healing, but SXJ trying to answer back, taking Divine out while being pursued by the Lucio. Unfortunately, there's too much damage coming from every angle, so Aku's going to be the one to get the killing blow there, and this offense is still in I Need More Bullets' favor here. This bot still moving as it heads ever closer towards that checkpoint.
The pressure coming in from UK there. And the actual poke, I mean, that's what this comp's really known for. Swako on that Sigma just tapping away, and with UK finishing off the job there, I mean, they were able to get that advantage in that fight.
Yes, indeed. So now the advantage off the back of this Flux here. Swaku, actually nobody on the other side of it ends up falling here. Now with 5 ultimates to their name, we'll see what gets committed here. Luca's the Amplification Matrix is what goes up first here. And the Patience, I think, is going to be just using just that. Tread firing through it, finds 3. It is just the Lucio stalling now here as this bot's finally going to get flipped back. No checkpoint gained for I Need More Bullets.
Great discipline, though, coming in from Swiss, yes, not to commit any more ultimates, especially as the bot was so close to capping. I mean, having that point capped away from you, it does change the spawn points and does, you know, swap the fight, you know, out of your favor, really. So being able to commit only one ult, committing Luca's ult, is very, very important there. Going to give them advantage in this fight here.
Absolutely, but the advantage is trying to be seized by Divine, using that overclock early. It is answered by Ducio's B, and now SXJ on the other side of things, committing the B, and it's just an ult frenzy. Tread using the Grenadic Flux here. It finds a pretty good majority of the core here. The Lamp is going to have to committed to make sure everybody stays alive. Meanwhile, SXJ trying to find a bit of an off angle, can't find those supports just yet to both teams, just trying to live to sustain. The Blizzard being committed from Abstract here should freeze Pack up nice and well, but SXJ is going to be the first one to find anything. It's going to be the Baptiste going down. All red in the kill feed means that this Swiss Yes is going to be able to keep this bot pushing and potentially match the progress.
What a fight. All 5 ultimates being committed there. Tread a bit twitchy there, coming out a bit earlier with that Gravitic Flux during the Lucio beat, unfortunately. But because Abstract had that Blizzard ready, he managed to get so much value out of it and clean up shop.
Yes, indeed. And actually rocked out a Blizzard is Pack. That's absolutely catastrophic here. If you were hoping to get some sort of retake going, now they're just trying to find some purchase some other way. Potentially could be using the Amplification Matrix from Outsider here, but not before Luca actually finds Pack. This May is not having a good day on Coliseo, to say the least here. Both Sojourns trading back and forth here. It is going to be Divine coming out on top. Divine gets 2 picks, actually, trying to turn the tide single-handedly, but not before the lead is gained by Swiss Yes here, and it looks like they're going to be able to get the checkpoint, too. That butt scratch is going.
And that's the sheer control and pressure that the support can really have in a game like this, especially on the Baptiste, this flex support. I mean, you're able to put out so much pressure, but suddenly the bot's going the other way.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you get the butt scratch, you get the forward spawns, and then you give it up. That's just absolutely the smartest thing you can do here. As now we're seeing it head back towards center. You're taking another fight in this long hallway that everybody knows and loves. Both teams just, once again, poking back and forth. Ults should be committed pretty heavily here from both sides. Amplification Matrix from Luca is going to be the first one out in a very weird angle. I don't think anyone's going to be able to use that.
Yeah, very aggressive play there, trying to see if they can get a pick immediately just from the sheer burst damage that was going to come out, but unfortunately unable to find anything, but more ults are being committed here.
Yes, indeed. That Gravitic Flux on both sides here doesn't find purchase, but what does is Divine's Overclock. Before he's taken down, he takes Luca out of the fight here. Now the Blizzard is going to mean that Pack will find exactly what a May needs in this fight here. The bot should be moving in I Need More Bullets' favor once they clean up Ducio, just hiding out like a little gremlin on the backside there.
I mean, more bullets do seem to be coming out on top quite a bit. I do think that they're more favored to win this map with how they're playing it. I mean, even with SwissYes just having the sheer ult economy advantage, they're still unable to win these fights.
Yes, indeed. And Pack is going to take down SXJ, who ran to the bot preemptively, trying to get the stall, but now gave up their life here, and it is just not going any which way but the favor of I Need More Bullets here. They're going to be able to get the butt scratch themselves, and now with a fight win at that moment, they should be able to actually keep this going and get the lead.
And this is where map control is now really going to play into it. They need to try and make sure, because getting past this bridge point is vital. This is honestly a super tough part to be to just really take control of. They need to be pushing forward, but unfortunately SwissYes are coming from behind.
Yes, indeed here, and so now it is just trying to match up on the cart once again, try to find some value, some purchase here, but the amplification makes from outsiders, making it really difficult from anybody from Swiss to want to stay near this bot here. They're coming from all angles though, and Abstract is able to find Pack, not before being taken out by Yuki on the other side. Gravitic Flux being committed by Tread here, trying to find some purchase before he falls. He drops low, but they're able to kill the Baptiste, but not before things are being traded in the backline here. You're having to worry about the Sigma on the other side here. They're dueling in the small room here, but it unless I'm mistaken here, the Sigma should finally fall with no Baptiste to heal it. But unfortunately, the Sigma falling means everybody else around him has fallen. So now Tread has to be the one to experience the despair of being the last one alive. But as I say that, though, actually finds the Lucio. The Sojourn decides to get Daddle, accepting the lead where it is. And now it's going to be some more cart progress for the side of SwissYes.
The fight constantly going back and forth there. Tread just about making it alive, and on doing so able to punish the enemy team. I mean, SwissYes able to come out on top of that purely because Tread was just kept alive so well there.
Yes, indeed. So now it's going to be about who can find more here. SXJ using the Amplification Matrix finds Divine. No Sojourn Overclock to worry about on the other side because he's out of the fight here. That May wall is going to be absolutely crucial, but it does not stop them from leaving here. So now everybody just simply running, but actually recommitting. Pax's Blizzard is going to be able to find the Sigma here, not before, and the Lamp as well. Abstract trying to turn this one, actually gets a freeze up onto 2, but Divine's not going to let anything happen with that Overclock, and actually the B being committed, thrown in on the other side. SXJ now being the hero needed before being taken down, finds 2. So the question is, will this bot is going to continue pushing? They've actually regained the lead here. It's just the supports waiting it out, trying to get as much meterage as they can.
Fight going all over the place once again. I mean, beautiful Mayults coming in from both Abstract and Pack, but Pack able to find that much more value. Unfortunately, with SXJ on the other team, it's not over just yet. Overclock's in hand, and he does end up cleaning up, taking down 3 more players, and now they're all regrouping here. Unfortunately, bot is being pushed back.
Yes, indeed, but not before the forward spawns come through. Ducio's going to be able to regroup with his team in the hallway here. That's exactly what you want, but they're regrouped for the Gravitic Flux. Picked up into the air here. The Lamp is going to be used to try to keep actually not even committed. Everybody's just healthy naturally through the sustained healing of the Baptiste. So now we're just having to continue this poke back and forth. Lamp finally used for the Amplification Matrix, and it's just a chaotic fight breaking down here, but Divine is going to be found out. SXJ deciding to hunt down the enemy Sojourn, and it pays off wonderfully. Pack's hiding in an ice block. The Lamp being committed here. Resources are slowly but surely draining out of I Need More Bullets, and they don't have anything to show for these resources being used.
it was really that duel which really, you know, changed the course of this fight. SXJ able to win out against Divine, shutting him down, turning him offline, in fact. And yeah, SXJ really coming out on top and really shining on that Sojourn here.
Absolutely. So now we're seeing entering final fight territory. There's got to be some sort of purchase for the side of I Need More Bullets, otherwise this series will be done. Somehow that rock doesn't connect, but the freeze will actually stop the Blizzard from hitting anyone. Or the Group Fox, I should say, the Lucio B is going to keep everybody nice and healthy. SXJ with the overclock doing hero things. God's work. The Blizzard thrown in on top. And I don't think there's a single soldier to stop it. Swiss, yes, is heading to the grand finals.
What a play, and really SXJ was the man of the hour there, coming out on that Sojourn with the overclock, just taking down the entirety of I Need More Bullets, and now sending them into the grand finals against OWSwitzerland.
They got their revenge match here against I Need More Bullets, and, you know, if you ignore King's Row, it was a pretty solid affair from them being able to answer this one back in 3-1, considering they lost in that 5th map last time. So, absolutely. Some good motivation for Swiss, yes, but, you know, waiting in that grand finals, I mean, it's a terrifying team to say the least.
Oh yeah, it's Team Schreps. I mean, when Team Schreps faced off against I Need More Bullets here, they did end up 3-0ing them. So now this is going to be a little bit of an interesting territory that we're stepping into, really, to see how Swiss CS can handle the pressure and handle Team Schreps in this grand finals. Really, I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, this grand finals is going to be super, super interesting. But obviously, we do have to get it all set up. So we are going to be throwing to a quick little break. Make sure you don't go anywhere, because on the other side of it, our grand finals will start.
OWSwitzerland here. A sneaky Symmetra strat and already everybody.
There's the Pharah, and oh my god, Mari is already in a big load of
Well, the farming as well to 80. 80 just creating incredible value for his team here. Just slicing through the enemy's backline. Then
And welcome on back if you're just joining us here at the Overwatch Swiss Elite Series. Well, you're joining us at a pretty opportune time, I'd say, because we are in our grand finals match here. Team Sweps versus Swiss. Yes, just had an amazing lower bracket match. Tefrai, I mean, what else is there to say about this grand finals?
I mean, yeah, I'm stoked for it, really. I mean, some of these players, they're very familiar faces. At least for me, being here since, early days of Overwatch 1. I mean, Barcode, Stelios, I recognize those players very much so. So yeah, seeing them here tonight, I'm very, very excited. And I mean, Team Schweppes have a lot of potential here. They were in the upper bracket. They haven't dropped a game. I mean, they have dropped a map against Pretty Based, in fact. But no, they haven't dropped a game so far. So possibly the favorites to win, even though Swiss Yes were the #1 seed. What do you think?
I mean, it is a very interesting sort of setup. Exactly as you said, right? Swiss, yes, they come into this the #1 seed. They have to go on a lower bracket run to get to this grand finals, but I mean, they've been on fire in these last 2 matches, so they have that nice little sort of warm-up factor going for them. But Team Schweppes, they haven't dropped a series yet, so why would they drop one here? I mean, it's gonna be super, super interesting either way this breaks down, because these are truly the 2 best teams we have.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, the really interesting thing that I'm trying to focus on is, the whole I need more bullets and how that really played into this. The fact that Swiss Yes did face off against them. Actually, both these teams faced off against I need more bullets. Swiss Yes did end up losing the first time at 3-2, but of course, coming out of that losers bracket, they did come out on top, and that's how they've got their position here. But Team Schweppes faced them and 3-0'd them. So, I mean, hey, I think we're coming out for a pretty close match here. I don't think it'll be a stomp. I think it'll be at least maybe a 3-1, maybe a 3-2. Who knows?
Absolutely, and you know, looking forward into this series, right? Our first map is going to be Antarctic Peninsula once again, and Swiss, yes, we saw what they just did to I Need More Bullets, right? There was a spawn camp involved, maybe some bagging of the tea we may not want to mention, but if Swiss, yes, can pull that off against a team like Team Schweppes, I mean, that could even set the tone for this series.
Yeah, I mean, this definitely seems to be the control point that seems, favored by all of these teams, Antarctic Peninsula. And maybe a little switch of the comps here, but the Sigma comp does seem to be the go-to for all of these players. I mean, running the Bastion, Lucio, Sigma, May, Sojourn, especially when you've got players like SXJ and Barcode who are just absolutely phenomenal with that Sojourn. I mean, why wouldn't you run it, really?
I mean, yeah, it's the tried and true meta for a reason when you have such great characters or such great players to run these characters, right? Both teams obviously having crazy amounts of talent sort of across the roster for anything that they really want to think about or worry about. But, you know, potential variations are always fun. You know, as if we look back at that last series, we went to Watchpoint Gibraltar, we got a little bit dive action going, even though Abstract just kind of decided I will play May regardless of anything and everything around my team. So that's also a fair strat. Maybe sometimes you're just a one trick that's so good it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it definitely benefits you in these kind of positions. Interesting thing, though, is that, people do tend to go for Antarctic Peninsula. I remember back in the day where Lijiang Tower was the go-to, or like Ilios maybe came into this. But no, it always seems to be Antarctic Peninsula. As soon as that's come out, everybody just seems to be jumping on that.
Yeah, like I still definitely see a ton of Lijiang in other brackets and stuff, but as you said today, there's been a ton of Antarctic Peninsula. Potentially, this is just what teams have been scrimming and practicing on, just because, you know, it's sort of the map that they wanted to prep, which is super interesting, right? Because it's not like there's some sort of unique strat they're pulling out. We talked about it last series, how Ramatra can be really, really good on some of these points. They're still just playing the Sigma comps. It's just on Antarctic Peninsula where they feel as though they just want to force it.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we don't really see too much variation. I mean, the only time we actually saw variation between at least just the tanks, we saw the Orisa come out on King's Row. We saw the Reinhardt come out on King's Row. The entire comp swapped on, Watchpoint Gibraltar, but Watchpoint Gibraltar being at that kind of dive map. But yeah, I mean, with regards to this the Sigma pokish comp coming in, it does not seems to be too many changes actually, but insane. So, nope, never mind. I got baited. Shred hovering that Junker Queen made me think otherwise. Maybe I had hope, but no.
Yeah, no, unfortunately. The Junker Queen may just be a thing of the past, although we have seen some teams run it to moderate success, you know, even today. So it'll be super, super interesting to see if maybe that can come out later here. But as we're getting the round started, I mean, it's just the mirror. There's nothing really to say besides that. It's a mirror.
No Symmetra TP coming in, though, to give them that map control here. So even Stevens for both teams. Let's see how they decide to play this. Actually, Team Shrep's going to the right side. Interesting approach to this.
Yeah, not wanting to contest that high ground at all, but actually, your Sigma's over here. It's just that you're sending your Lucio on a flank, potentially. It'll be interesting to see exactly how that develops here, as we are just in a tad bit of a poke war with Swiss. Yes, they're just kind of sitting on the outside. Both teams waiting for a move to be made, probably a May wall to come through, or potentially a rail to click ahead. We will just have to wait and see, as there's more damage coming through. And it is going to be Abstract finding the first headshot, followed up by SXJ. This DPS line has been on fire so far. The go button clearly clicked here. It is just going to be cleanup now. Luca's going to be the one to get the killing blow onto Ariel. And the May stalling as long as they can, but unfortunately, Celios, your time is limited.
That seems to spell so many fight wins for Swiss. Yes, here. I mean, Abstract able to get that initial pick on the May. I mean, just setting them already immediately into the advantage, and SXJ with that little slide railgun click onto the head of Barcode. I mean, that's just so solidified the fight for them.
And there's a second one in case you missed the first one. SXJ showing the Sojourn supremacy, already decided to take Barcode out of this fight here. So now it is just going to be the rest of this team sort of backing up, regrouping, not wanting to give any more poke or damage over to this team, risk any more picks here. And Barcode, I feel like, you know, has to sort of find some purchase. Can't let SXJ keep ripping their head off.
Yeah, I mean, he's quite behind an ult charge, and now the overclock's coming in from SXJ, coming in from behind, but he's going to get pounced on. Fortunately, does fall. The Gravitic Flux does come through, does end up taking down Zerion's Baptiste, and now the healing's all but gone.
Yes, indeed, and now it is 4v4, but that healing is going to be sorely missed here as you're watching Ariel push forward. Now with the Gravitic Flux, it is only going to pick up the May and the Baptiste, not even having to commit the immortality field to keep everybody alive there. That's what you love to see, but Sojourn here, Barcode finding purchase is now going to be able to walk forward here. Blizzard actually be committing by Stelios. It is going to be the Lamp now committed to try to keep this tank alive here. Tread fighting for their lives, but unfortunately you can fight as hard as you want. That damage is going to be swift and true. Ariel now trying to even this one up here as it is just damage poking back and forth. Ducio is going to be the one to take down Barcode. SXJ should live here, but the B actually committed here. Now on the other side of it, Abstract deciding to commit the May ult as well. Both teams just throwing everything in the kitchen sink into this one, trying to turn it in their favor. Celios on the Tracer now, trying to get back in time. Also the Doomfist here. It is both teams just sort of going to stall picks to get back. We are heading to 99%, but I think this fight is going to be 5v5 once more.
Yeah, I mean, Tread on this Doomfist almost takes down the Tracer there. Closely as Celios now dropped down. Actually does end up losing that Tracer duel. SXJ does take him down. And Swiss, yes, claim victory on this first point.
They did it in a very chaotic fashion. I mean, that third fight there, it lasted from 50% till the end of the map. Both teams switching to stall, to dive characters, just trying to get back in time to touch. But, you know, it does ultimately go in Swiss Yes's favor for that first round. A bit sloppy, but, you know, you take what you can get. So now, as we head towards this next point here, we're going to be back on these Sigma mirrors.
Yeah, unfortunately, that Doomfist and that Tracer didn't last too long just to get on point, just to have that man advantage. And I mean, it did end up paying off. I mean, Tread slipping to that Doomfist, able to create pressure onto the enemy backline. And I mean, it definitely was the pick, but unfortunately, we're back on the same comp.
Absolutely. There was, I believe, actually a TP out of spawn here. Either that or Barcode switched very last second. I didn't quite get my eyes on it here, but now it is just going to be a contest for the high ground. Both teams poking back and forth with a little bit more space given to Team Schweppes here, as they are, again, we're just in this sort of little poke war until somebody finds the advantage. The advantage might be that May wall here, pushing aggressively against the other Sigma here. The Lamp having to be committed on both sides to keep everybody nice and healthy and sustained here. The point has unlocked, but nobody even dreams of heading towards it until, as I say it, it seems like Swiss Yes wants to be heading there. SXJ still on this high ground, so patrolling, trying to find some healers, but unfortunately not going to come up with a whole heck of a lot. Dropping incredibly low is SXJ. In the background, dies to Barcode, but not before Abstract takes out their counter on the other side here. And Barcode themselves falling means no DPS for the side of Team Schweppes here. They've got to be able to figure something out in this fight. The Sigma should be able to sustain a little while longer, but unfortunately it just was not enough. And that is going to be first cap for Swiss Yes.
Honestly, beautiful tempo from both these players. The Maywolves creating so much pressure on both sides of these teams, and I mean, not able to capitalize on them, especially Luca beautifully using that lamp there to save the entirety of Swiss Yes, and then coming out on top.
Absolutely, and so now looking towards this next fight, there's going to be quite a few ultimates coming online for both squads, so we'll see how these are used. Probably the amplification matrix, because first, if I had to guess here, a bit of an engage. It is going to be Team Schweppes moving to the point, just sending the maze down there to brawl it out. Whoever comes out on top, it will be the victor of the point, I guess you could say. Meanwhile, this high ground is being fought here, and there's a bit of aggression coming out from Swiss Yes here. It is going to be punished, but Stelios on point will take down Abstract. The May War is won. Now with the Gravitic Flux committed, it's only a matter of time before the Team Schweppes is able to get this one controlled in their favor.
And that is where the timing of that Lucio speed boost really comes into the play. Unfortunately, Swiss Lucio getting his team to play overly aggressive there, pushing Tread onto that high ground. And unfortunately, they gave up so much health, and the Gravitic Flux just came out, and Aerial were just able to capitalize on it, really, and just come out on top and swept the point there.
Absolutely, but now the Gravitic Flux coming in on the other side. Tread going to find purchase. The Blizzard dropped on top of everybody as well here, but interestingly enough, nobody frozen up. There was a beautiful disengage, but what they can't disengage from is SXJ on the Sojourn with the overclock. Finds two. Can it be a third onto the Lucio? It is! There's no hiding from this Sojourn. The Blizzard on point just simply does not matter from Stelios while you're able to get Abstract. It's just this Sojourn matter of time. SXJ, truly a hero for this team.
And that's just gotta hurt. I mean, Swiss Lucio committing the Lucio for nothing. Just SXJ absolutely cutting through it, taking down the players of Team Schweppes here, and now giving them the point.
Yes, indeed, but it is, interestingly enough, going to be Tread, the first one to fall here. So now this re-engage is going swimmingly for Team Schweppes. They're just going to have to dislodge the May from the point. Abstract, no tools left to their name to stall here. So now we're heading towards another neutral fight.
Constantly swimming back and forth here. As we can see, I mean, this grand finals is proving to be quite the game. It's pretty close, 70% to 50%. It really could go either way here. Ultimates are available for Barcode and Ducio on either side. Let's see who can find value. Let's see if Barcode can do what SXJ did just a couple fights ago.
Yes, indeed, that will be the question here, as we're seeing more aggression from this Swiss Yes side here. They can't find anything with the overclock just yet, just because the beat's in their face. Ducio running them down, trying to find something. Barcode comes up with air, and so now it is just more space being taken by the side of Swiss Yes. They have this high ground on lock, but Aerial should be able to retake it with his Gravitic Flux, should she choose to commit it. And so now it is just another beautiful Maywall. Is going to be the end of Barcode here. The Flux being committed to try to find some sort of value, but the lamp is not enough, actually. Aerial finds Luca, but SXJ, meanwhile, on the off angle, somewhere you weren't expecting, is going to take down Celio. So now the lamp being committed on the other side here. These Baptistes going back and forth, but Luca's not there to keep the team alive. But somehow, some way, in the middle of all this chaos, Swiss Yes, they've capped the point here, so now we're just poking back and forth, throwing things once again. The Sigma's gonna fall. Swiss Yes actually coming away with this one.
Aerial somehow falling there. Ducio getting that group onto him to finalize that kill, and suddenly now it's giving them the advantage. The point is, however, flipped in favor of Swiss Yes, as Abstract also takes down Zerion, GDH, and now with just a couple seconds left, the May's gonna have to commit. Stelios is gonna have to try and touch and trigger that overtime. Or no, the Doomfist, Aerial, able to trigger it and back out.
Yes, indeed, but now what you got to worry about, SXJ has the overclock. Everybody's got to hide. The wall being already committed to try to keep this zoning pressure alive. The May, nobody's actually died yet from this overclock, though. The Satan is absolutely crazy, but Stelios canceled out a Blizzard. Actually, the Blizzard just thrown a tad bit too short, but it does somehow manage to find Tread with Zerion getting those headshots with the kunai. So now back and forth, the pendulum swings, but it is finally swinging in Swiss Yes's favor here. The picks are all going their way. The Doomfist is the last one to stand tall, but he finally falls, and that's going to be map 1. It's going to Swiss Yes.
Wow, what a back and forth game we just witnessed there. It really could have gone either way, and that's really what you want in a grand finals like this. Team Schweppes just barely falling short. And really, I think it was just thanks to SXJ really finding so much value from this overclock here, even with the beat coming in for Team Schweppes. Unfortunately, they did fall short, and just the right clicks just kept connecting over and over, and just the entire team just falling.
Yes, indeed. And now Team Schweppes, they find themselves on the back foot. When you're getting to the grand finals, they notably didn't drop that many maps, but dropping a map immediately like that to a team, Swiss, yes, I mean, people really got to stop trying to challenge them on Antarctic Peninsula. They're just far too powerful there.
I mean, yeah, as we just seen, they've just been absolutely phenomenal on that point, or on that map, really. And now, yeah, we're heading into the second game. And I mean, what do you think is going to really come out of this? I think we're going to be going to Casino Royale, as we've just seen every other game really pick, or every other team really pick. Casino Royale seems to be the move here, especially when you have a team comp or that involves, poke characters, especially Sigma, who just absolutely shines on a map like that. But no, it seems like we're going to Havana.
We're going to the other Sigma map, which is always super, super interesting, right? That we've sort of developed, even without this meta, there's always been Sigma maps within Overwatch. Havana always kind of had a place for him, but Circuit Royale really sort of turned it up to another level simply because of just how versatile Sigma is, right? You're able to kind of deal with things in the up close with your kinetic grasp and, shoot those orbs just a little bit too close to you. If you need, the accretion's also good for up close, but then you have that long range shield you can really place anywhere, which kind of helps, sort of move everybody around the map. But if we're going to Havana, I wonder if either team's going to opt to try to play into these longer sightlines with potentially a Widowmaker instead of this Sojourn.
That's exactly what I was thinking of, actually, especially, and we've seen Barcode on that Widowmaker and really make it work. So I'm wondering if we do end up seeing either one of these teams pull out the Widowmaker, as you mentioned, with these sightlines. It's just so beneficial on maps like, yeah, Casino Royale and Havana. I mean, these long sightlines is really where these snipers shine. But in order to counter that, they do end up playing really up close and spawn camp. I mean, just, yeah, straight up, as we've seen Swiss CS do time and time again.
Absolutely. And yeah, they play up close in your face because they just simply have that level of aggression, that level of tempo that you see here. So as we are looking on the defense, Barcode actually, a bit of a yawn from me. I don't know why. This is an exciting series. But Barcode is going to be sticking to the Sojourn here, and at least sitting in the spawn, SXJ is on the Widowmaker.
You can see him scouting out here, trying to see if they're running a Widowmaker of their own. Just checking through the window. And I think coming out that right side, he might be able to get some value. Just a little poke there. Abstract also on the Hanzo. And as I mentioned earlier, when you've got long sidelines like these, the players from Team Schweppes are going to want to play close. And they're going to want to spawn camp. They don't want to give this Widowmaker the luxury to click their heads off.
The Havana spawn hold takes on a new composition here, but the May still stays the same. SXJ actually going to teleport everybody just around the spawn hold to circumvent it, so now they don't have any eyes potentially on where this Sojourn could be. It could be devastating if it's not scouted or found properly here, but it is seen. Barcode knows that that's there, and with the help of Zeron, it is going to be SXJ being the first one to fall here, so this spawn hold already paying dividends as we are just going back and forth on the cart. But Abstract finds Stelios, so now we've got a 4v4 fight, and there's going to be a quick respawn, so there's going to have to be some huge picks like that one coming out from Barcode, and the spawn hold hopes to continue here, and it will for the time being.
I mean, I like the idea coming out from Swiss, yes, and especially from SXJ. They're trying to wait it out, get the entire team to rotate around Team Schweppes and sort of collapse on them from either side. Unfortunately, the timing just slightly off, and SXJ folds immediately to Zerion there.
Yes, indeed. Now the May wall, because there was a call for retreat, means Ariel's going to get caught out, seemingly not realizing the rest of the team had backed off. And, this is all of a sudden going to be everybody from the side of Team Schweppes just sort of committing to the cart, making sure they die. That way they have to pay for every single inch of it in blood. And the Lucio is going to be the last one to fall here, but this cart will get moving.
Yeah, the slightest amount of space was given to them. And, Swiss, yes, just capitalized on it. But now looking at the ult charge from either side of these teams, I mean, Team Schweppes are looking quite comfy right now.
I mean, absolutely. They are starting to be able to gain some purchase, gain some momentum, as well as some ultimates in the bank here. You're seeing a bit of a rotation. The Baptiste trying to make it up to high ground here. It seems like the whole team's wanting to rotate up here. Abstract being found out, leaving the Sigma on card, but the Blizzard actually thrown in from behind by Stelios. Is it going to be able to freeze anybody up? It does not seem that way. The beat now being thrown out from Ducio, but not before Ariel throws out the Gravitic Flux, and it finds Tread. Purchase is being made here. Barcode is going to take down that Lucio. Pesky finally taken out of it here. The Sojourn is found out. SXJ is numbered and found down. So now, with under 2 minutes on the clock, this defense is starting to hold.
Team Schweppes looking pretty strong on this Havana map. I mean, as we mentioned earlier, we haven't really seen much play happen, as it's always just been Circuit Royale, but now we're just seeing a new type of Team Schweppes here. And unfortunately, though, for Team Schweppes, SwissES got quite a lot on in terms of ultimates, and it might go in very badly for them.
Yes, indeed, but nothing found off of the back of that Flux, but it doesn't matter because Barcode actually is going to be the one to step up here. Now with the overclock, finds 2, not before Tread is able to answer it with an amplification matrix on the other side here. Switz Lucio is going to be the one to take Tread out of the fight here. Now SXJ, trying to be a hero, is not able to find what is needed here. Now this May is going to be the last one to fall. Abstract taken down, and that is going to be another hold despite the ultimates invested.
What a chaotic round. Yes, so many ultimates invested. And yet, not much card progress being made for SwissES. Unfortunately, with now less than 1 minute left on the clock, they've got to act quick.
Yes, indeed, and they've got to be able to figure something out, make it work for them. Otherwise, this defense is going to be held here on point A. They are going to cart. Red is trying to make some space on the Sigma here, but look at the zoning pressure being put onto SXJ from Swiss Lucio. There's just not a whole lot you can do here. The Lamp having to be committed, though, to keep Ariel alive is going to be absolutely dangerous here, as everybody on the side of Swiss is super low, but SXJ will be the first one to find a pick onto Barcode here, and your Sojourn turning it up to 11 when it's needed could be the answer, but the Blizzard thrown in on top of the amplification matrix means there will be no value. The Baptiste will fall, and that one pick just wasn't enough.
Absolutely amazing play coming in from Team Schweppes. I mean, this was just absolutely clinical. With 5 seconds left, Tread is going to try and touch on this Doomfist, and he just might make it onto touch. No, he's slowed, and that's the end of their offensive attack coming in for SwissES.
The saying goes, bend don't break, and definitely it looked like the side of Team Schweppes was bending after that first map of Eco Point, my goodness, Antarctic Peninsula. But you know, bend but don't break, as the saying goes, and they did not break. They instead decided to break the morals that potentially the side of SwissES was holding on to there with this good point A hold, because now that cart does not have to get very far.
Oh, no, not at all. And I mean, yeah, it's going to be quite tough. They're going to we're going to see, I think, a similar sort of strategy. I mean, using this sort of spawn camp technique, it does allow the enemy team to sort of get an extra contest on the card, especially, you know, on Circuit Royale. You've seen this quite a lot, and we do tend to see this on Havana too, just holding up close in their face and just trying to build ult charge in order for that second and third fight. And I mean, yeah, Team Schweppes just played that absolutely beautifully, especially not overcommitting when we saw so many players from SwissES just going down very low HP, but not playing too aggressively, waiting for the cooldowns, using them smart, and just coming out on top. And I mean, that's what led them and led to SwissES unable to cap their first point.
Yes, indeed. And so the spawn hold will be on the menu, as you so elegantly put it. But a little bit of variation in the mix is going to be the Symmetra. Trying to TP around from door to door, not let anybody really find purchase here. The question is, this Widowmaker from Barcode, could it be the answer here? As just running back into spawn once the call is made. And Ariel actually over to the Ramatra we were talking about. It's going to be interesting to see it played out here. The turret's just simply being broken out, and before the brawl form comes out here, a lot of damage coming through from this offense, but it seems as though it's going to be all for naught here. The Ramatra's just having to waste all of these punches blocking instead, so now it is going to be the Sigma actually pushing too far past the shield. No healing can come through there. Tread will be the first one to fall, and it is just going to be the domino effect that lets everybody else fall. This spawn hold came up with nothing.
So smart from Ariel to go onto this Ramatra here. I mean, being able to alternate between the block, between the punch, you know, you just reduce so much pressure from it, because the block just takes away so much damage, and Zerion's just able to either just, you know, just dump some healing in an AoE fashion, but then also just go to town, just absolutely spamming damage onto the SwissES, and that's exactly how he's got to his 80% ult charge here.
Absolutely, and it's just sort of more and more value. An annihilation, that's an old that whenever we see it, it can just be a game ender in and of itself. Although Ariel being taken incredibly low is going to ultimately fall after that wall and all that damage comes through. The amplification matrix committed from Zero, but unfortunately it will not find anything here as they just TP past it, and it is going to be a clean disengage though from the offense as they are just waiting to regroup with their Ramatra.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the sheer pressure that a Maywall can put on your team, being able to isolate the tank from the supports. I mean, the lamp did come through, maybe just tossing it over the wall, but the heals just weren't there. And I mean, when you don't have the supports to back you up, or you don't have the DPS to just put the pressure onto the enemy team, you're just going to fall. And with the tank falling, it's a tough fight to win.
Yes, indeed, but what's even tougher is when the Blizzard is committed on top of you, combined with the Annihilation, it is just going to be some absolute craziness coming through, but actually, a Blizzard on the other side of things is going to be able to take down Ariel, but not before the damage is seemingly done here. The cart slowly inching forward, the team kill gong rings out because there's no defenders left to stop this one, and we're tied up 1-1 in the series.
And it seems like after all of these Sigma comps, the Ramatra play might be the difference maker on a map like Havana. I mean, yeah, the Annihilation just absolutely finding so much value, even when frozen, just finding so much value. I mean, obviously you can't count out the Mei ults there, coming in, just freezing the entirety of Swiss, yes, and just giving them the advantage.
Absolutely, and something, don't get me wrong, the Ramatra definitely had his work, but I think it gets a little bit easier when you don't have to contest that Sojourn on the other side, right? That's not a shield you have to put up in its face when it's on the Symmetra. You know where Symmetra's going to be perfectly in range of those punches from Ramatra, so I think that was an adaptation that Swiss Yes tried to pull off that unfortunately just didn't work out for them.
Yeah, I mean, arguably playing, with a shield tank like Ramatra, Symmetra is able to charge up her beam just a bit more, just apply some more damage. But yeah, just the sheer pressure that was on him. I mean, he wasn't able to build up that charge. And yeah, with Ramatra just running rampant all over him, he's just unable to get the value out of that full charge main ability. So yeah, I think that Ramatra pick from Ariel was really the deciding factor as to why they were able to get so much pressure out, even when being spawn camped, as we saw Swiss CS like to do. The spawn camp just didn't work out for them.
Yes, indeed, and the spawn hold, that's the thing, right? Sometimes it'll absolutely work for you. You'll be able to burn so much time off the clock, and sometimes it's exactly what happened there. They just sort of fell to pieces. No real way to sort of push forward after that point, but it is going to be Blizzard World, interestingly enough, for our next map, a map that does not have any spawn hold features, or at least I haven't seen a spawn hold yet. It'd be interesting to see how that exactly would work with that tiered high ground at the very, very front spawn. But yeah, Blizzard World, it's a super interesting call.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly it. Really, the tiered high ground is what makes it so difficult to spawn camp here. And I mean, really, you don't really want to spawn camp. I mean, it's similarly to like how you play King's Row. You wouldn't really want to sort of force that fight so early on. You kind of want to take the advantages that you can get. I mean, you can get the high ground advantage on like just behind the point there, giving Barcode, even giving like Zarian there the advantage on the map and the Sojourn, just spamming away from high ground, just unable to be touched by the Mei necessarily. I mean, besides the right clicks, of course, but yeah, I mean, probably playing on point, even playing on this side high ground where Tread is making his way towards, that's where you really get your advantages from.
Yeah, absolutely. And those advantages are all you need sometimes, right? So both teams going to be back onto these mirrored compositions here, SXJ. I mean, don't get me wrong, Symmetra's a nice little shout, but it's just the Sojourn is just so unbelievably powerful, especially in this player's hands. But now everybody stationed up on the high ground for this defense for Swiss Yes, and we'll see how exactly they want to do this.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. That Symmetra can definitely come into handy. And I mean, immediately, straight away, too scared to keep going to that high ground is Team Schweppes, and they just give it up immediately. And now Swiss Yes are claiming that for themselves, and they're making their way towards the point, and even actually on a big flank coming in, which might be crucial for Team Schweppes.
Yes, indeed. Both walls going to come out, and nobody's actually caught by either of them somehow. But Abstract will find the pick onto Stelios here. That is going to be the start that this defense was looking for here, as now they're just sort of pushing slowly but surely, trying to whittle down the resources. That wall's going to come through, and it is just going to spell disaster. The damage coming through. Interesting enough, though, the rock actually comes through. Tread starts dropping low. SXJ somehow gets found in the backline by Swiss Lucio, but it seems like the rest of the kill feed is just going to be lit up in blue for this defense. Swiss yes will hold.
I mean, yeah, once again, that May wall coming in, and was just allowed the entirety of Team Schweppes to come out on top and just create so much pressure on the Sigma.
Yes, indeed. And now the question is, do they attempt to reestablish themselves on the high ground here? As both teams seem to willingly just kind of give it up, decide that we will not play high ground, a mutual assured destruction thing there. SXJ peeking with that rail charged is always terrifying, not able to find nothing with it just yet here. Amplification Matrix going to be thrown out first from Zeron. Doesn't find a whole heck of a lot because of the main wall that's blocking it. And meanwhile, Abstract on the other side of it is going to find two with some icicles. Ducio will pay for it with his life, but this defense should be able to kind of clean the rest of this up here, especially with that beautiful main wall. Again, this Sigma's just trapped. Somebody help Ariel. There's no help to be had.
I mean, when you've got Abstract on the enemy team on this May, he just feels so much pressure. And it's just playing a tank against the May. It's just not a fun game, I'll be honest. I could never queue tank. It's just too much pain. When you see a Bastion, when you see a May, when you see the Sojo and the pressure they can put out, and especially with characters like Baptiste on the support role, just continuously spamming damage into the tank, it's pretty tough game to play.
I could not agree with you more as a tank player, but enough about me. Let's look at these ults that this defense has amassed, right? They've got everything online. They're going to choose to commit the Gravitic Flux first here from Tread. With the Blizzard thrown on top of it is going to mean that Ariel just falls without a single question, and yet another fight just ends so quickly with the offense just running Team Schweppes. They can't find anything.
That might have arguably been an overcommitment there, using both the May ult and the Gravitic Flux from Tread there into one team fight, and Swiss Lucio not even committing their own sound barrier really to counter it. So now Swiss Lucio does have that available for SXJ's overclock, which has just come out, in fact.
Yes, indeed, but the overclock is countered. Unfortunately, the off angles were not enough. Now, with 2 picks, the Gravitic Flux being committed here, this offense should finally find some purchase here. The Baptiste falls. It is just going to be the Lucio running for their life here. Should be able to get out alive, but that is going to be point A capped for the side of Team Schweppes.
Yeah, I mean, 100% after all of that pressure, they're able to cap that point, and Swiss Lucio still with that beat in hand. And I mean, it's just all stacking up. Ariel, the only one to commit the Gravitic Flux there, and 4 ultimates, sorry, should I say, about to come online for Team Schweppes.
Yes, indeed. Team Schweppes should be able to snowball this offense, no pun intended, because they do have the Blizzard. Stelios could throw out at any time here, but Luca's actually going to go first with the Amplification Matrix, trying to find some purchase, but Barcode decides to answer back, put down damage onto the Sojourn. The lamps are forced out from both teams here. And now the beat, interestingly, thrown up for Swiss Lucio after there's a 4v4 already going down, but that beat is just going to put the nail in the coffin and allow this card to keep on moving.
Just a Sojourn supremacy, really. Barcode and SXJ continuously going at it, trying to assert dominance, really, with their overclocks. And this time, Barcode has come out on top, and it is giving progression for Team Schweppes here.
Absolutely. You're seeing the rest of the team gather on high ground. The May just be the sole dutiful person to push the cart here. The Sigma actually dropping just out of fear, maybe a little bit of damage, using that low ground to their advantage here, just trying to find some angle. But Stelios is going to be flanking with this Blizzard if nobody's expecting it. But actually, the cart is going to be the one moving here. I wonder if they notice the cart moving. Okay, they do. Thank goodness. No C9's happening here. The Gravitic Flux going to be committed from Ariel out of rage of no C9. And the Blizzard actually thrown in from Stelios on top of it isn't going to find anyone. Actually, I lied. It will find both Ducio and Abstract. And it seems as though that's going to be point B in a rather odd fashion. No real fight happened.
Yeah, poor Abstract in that cryo freeze just sees the Blizzard come out with no hope of escape. Luca tried his best, but unfortunately it just wasn't enough, and they do all fall. And the second point does end up going, to Team Schweppes.
Yeah, so now this third point is going to have to be the one that Swiss Yes is looking for a defense on here. As the blizzard comes out, it is going to be abstract, freezing everybody up. The lamp should keep people alive for the moment, but unfortunately it's just not enough when SXJ is on the case on that Sojourn here. So now it's just damage being thrown out all willy-nilly, but it seems like there's a successful disengage. Nobody else should fall for this offense just yet.
Swiss, yes, finally, yeah, able to stabilize for the first time in this map so far. And with ults in hand, I mean, it's looking pretty comfortable right now.
Yes, indeed. But all they got to worry about right now is Tread's Gravitic Flux here. Everybody slammed down, the lamp being forced just to keep everybody alive here. But they actually managed to sustain the storm, rather. And somehow, some way, nobody really falls to that one. A phenomenal healing output from this offense. So now they're going to be able to re-engage here with Barcode's Overclock. The wall is only a temporary solution to a very real problem. These rails are firing. The Lucio's going to be the one found. And now that is the pick. That is going to be the go signal for Team Schweppes here. The Gravitic Flux being committed. It's found 3. Luca's the one to go down. Tread is going to fall next, and that's just going to be all red in the kill feed. This cart moving towards its end goal.
You could see the target priority coming out from Barcode as soon as he popped out Overclock. He was looking for Ducio, trying to stop that sound barrier, because he knew if he got that sound barrier down, Ariel could just ramp it, and in fact he did, coming out with that Gravitic Flux, winning them the fight.
Absolutely. So now a beat from Ducio, knowing that there's nothing to counter on the other side, just deciding to get in there. But Stelios says, no, I have a blizzard. The lamp is going to just break almost instantaneously. Tread falls. The cart's still moving. The lamp is not going to be able to keep anybody alive. Stelios lighting up the kill feed. And that is going to be a full cap coming through from Team Schweppes.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. Ult Economy really just handling it so disciplined and so well from Team Schweppes, able to distribute their ults very sparingly and just sprinkling them throughout the point, really, just able and allowing them to cap the point with 30 seconds left on the clock. So not even in overtime, which is looking pretty nice for them.
Absolutely. And that 30 seconds, it just kind of guarantees that there will be extra rounds if there needs to be, right? No sort of forced draw situation or anything like that. So it always is nice to have that in the bank, but it is now going to be on the side of Swiss Yes to sort of cap all 3 points of Blizzard World. That's never a guarantee. Some maps, obviously, it's easier than others, but I'd say Blizzard World is up there with one of the most difficult to full cap. Interestingly enough, though, besides just the full cap, going to that third point, we generally see more brawl comps. Neither team really wanted to switch off. They just stuck with what they know.
Yeah, I mean, it's always that difficult question to ask, right? Do I save my ultimate for the fight coming up, or do I swap to just a better comp? Do I swap to the Ramattra? Do I swap to, I don't know, the Reinhardt, the Orisa? I mean, we've seen them come out. Even the Jungle Queen come out. Maybe not on this map, but we've seen, quite a number of tanks come in very, very random positions. But I mean, it does seem like it was working so well for Team Schweppes here, especially for Ariel coming in with that Gravitic Flux, able to wipe out that first fight and just almost claim the point entirely for Team Schweppes.
Yes, indeed. And so now, while Team Schweppes was able to be crazy, I think it's going to have to be even crazier for the Team Swiss Yes to be able to push this one in. Despite not going on high ground, they've somehow forced this defense off of the high ground. I think that's honestly respectable as hell. Just being able to be like, we're so powerful, you'll just get off high ground anyway. As we're seeing the brawl take place on point here, both Maywalls forced out, both Sigmas just holding kinetic grasp, but it is going to be Abstract, the first one to fall to Zerion. The Baptiste decided to get in the kill feed and take down a second one. Both DPS dealers are falling to the Baptiste, being the hero of this fight here. Barcode is going to fall here, but it is going to be in the defense's favor here.
I mean, we have been, highlighting Barcode. We have been highlighting Stelios, really the DPS players of these games, but I don't think enough credit goes to Zerion on this Baptiste. I mean, the sheer amount of pressure that he's able to put out consistently on this Baptiste, just making it absolute hell for the enemy tank player, or really the enemy team, with so much healing, so much damage coming in. You really got to give it to him.
Absolutely. Baptiste's always been an extra damage dealer in any comp he's featured in, and sometimes you forget about the damage that this hero can put out, but he is a threat and should be treated thusly as the amplification matrix is going to be thrown out here. The wall just to stop the damage ever so slightly from coming through here, but it is just going to be a rather rapid disengage, and then everyone's just sort of looking to off angles here, especially SXJ, finding some purchase with these shots, but it is going to be without a pick to their name just yet here. Using the amplification matrix is going to be zoning on the other side here. Meanwhile, Ariel is actually rocked out of the gravitic flux here. Phenomenal from Tread. Now with no rock to your name, even though you're able to take SXJ out with it, it does mean the gravitic flux is going to come through. Stelios is going to fall at the hands of that one, and so now it is all about which Sigma can live longer here. But this Baptiste again is getting involved in the kill feed. Tread trying to turn this one back, takes down Barcode, but unfortunately Barcode is all they'll end up with, as we are seeing this defense hold once again.
And it seems like it was just supports all through the kill feed. Swiss, Lucio, and Zarian just going to town, finishing off the entire players from Swiss, yes. And I mean, Team Schweppes now able to hold first point still very comfortably. They do have quite a lot of ults coming online. I mean, Barcode, Stelios have theirs in hand right now. Swiss, Lucio, and Zarian very, very close. And this next fight could spell disaster for Swiss, yes.
Yes, indeed. They're going to have to find some purchase in what is certainly to be an uphill battle against all these ultimates here, but they've got to be able to sort of make a pathway, forge their own way into this one. They know the May Ice Block is forced. Nobody's really willing to commit just yet. And look, the Sigma's almost caught off on an off angle as Abstract runs forward with the Blizzard here. It freezes up the Sigma, but the wall means no follow-up damage will come through. Ult being thrown in left, right, and center. The Blizzard's on point. Both overclocks being committed. Abstract will find the first blood onto Stelios on the other side here. SXJ's overclock will come up with nothing as he catches a rock to the face from Ariel. So now both teams at a 4v4 situation, missing a DPS player, but Barcode's going to be the hero that finds that Lucio another rock to another Sojourn's face here, but it isn't going to mean a whole heck of a lot. Luca's going to go down. Gravitic Flux being committed from Tread in a pretty dire situation. Not really anything found from it because the lamp was there, and this defense holds once more.
Seems like Team Schweppes are just able to shut out SXJ from just doing anything really, unable to find any sort of value from that overclock just being shot immediately by Ariel. The Gravitic Flux was definitely a questionable usage. Probably the Doomfist swap was on his mind immediately, and just so he should be able to touch and create overtime for his team. And let's see if they can do anything. I mean, they do have the amplification matrix readily available.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Ducio is already down, which means you're working short-handed as it is. There is going to be the Gravitic Flux here, the Sojourn, and the May picked up. Both of them are going to fall. It's just a Doomfist and a Baptiste against the world here. The Amplification Matrix from Zerion on the other side is pretty much going to put the nail in the coffin here. Doomfist is flailing around using abilities, but it is going to be all for naught here, as it is going to be Team Schweppes taking the 2-1 seat. Taking the 2-1 lead in this series.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it really does show that, you know, playing together as a team, Team Schweppes have been playing in multiple tournaments really, and you can see that practice is really, really coming in handy. That experience of playing together is just, you know, just overwhelming and just panning out really, really well for Team Schweppes. And now giving them the lead, yeah, in this series against Swiss Yes. So now the question is, what does Swiss Yes have to do to come out on top and tie this all up?
And it is going to be super interesting, right? As we heading over to push, you know, where do we go to tie this up? Our last series, we saw them go to Colosseo, and while it was a close affair, they were able to edge that one out. It is just going to be kind of interesting if that's where they choose to go for this next map. But I mean, we are just kind of having to wait to see exactly how these teams kind of want to break it down, especially if they want to keep running these Sigma comps.
Yeah, I mean, definitely the Sigma comps do seem to be working out pretty well. I mean, really for either team, Team Schweppes seem to be definitely coming out on top of this engagement of this mirror match, to be honest. I mean, we have seen the push map Colosseo being the one to go for in previous best first of threes, really. Swiss CS, we did see them go up against and Need More Bullets on this push map. But the question is, will it be the map that comes out on top? I mean, we did see Havana come out, so we might see another curveball come through.
Yeah, and I mean, each of the push maps has their own sort of trials and tribulations, sort of with the Sigma comp, right? Nothing really ever feels like you're almost kind of putting the triangle into the square hole. Like, sure, it can fit, but it may not necessarily be exactly what you want. But, you know, both these teams clearly practiced on it. And, you know, something to remind everybody at home, this finals is first to three, which means, you know, Team Schweppes, they're one map away from just sort of taking this thing in style. And that would be just sort of a phenomenal story for them, being able to just kind of cruise through upper bracket, just sort of not drop all too much and just come into grand finals, albeit besides that first map, and put out a pretty good performance.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm trying to think of what Swiss Yes need to do in order to come out on top here. I mean, as we mentioned before, SXJ has been shut out quite a lot in this in this first of three. So I'm unsure exactly how he's going to be able to try and find value in this next coming up match. I mean, Barcode is able to find that on the other end. But another thing is Zerion on that Baptiste, just allowing him to put out so much pressure. I'm just unsure how to shut him down here.
Yeah, and that's what's absolutely terrifying, right? Like once you get past SXJ and Abstract, the Baptiste, Luca, Ducio, they're definitely more passive, and it's worked out for them so far in this bracket, right? Being more passive. But once you get past Barcode and Stelios on the other side, as you just said, those supports are lethal. They aren't afraid to get in your face, be the ones to deal the damage, and commit to making sure those eliminations come through when they need to. So you're almost going to need to see Swiss, yes, their support line have to crank it up to another degree to sort of match that sort of damage output, just to try to make sure they're staying on pace with what Team Schweppes is throwing at them.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is just a difference in playstyle. As you said, Luca and Ducio do tend to play a bit more passively. And really, the game plan does seem to be sort of similarly, unless SXJ just ends up going off on one. Abstract with the May walls does seem to be, the key factor here, trying to isolate Ariel from the rest of his team and just trying to capitalize on that, sending in the Lucio speed boost to try and completely shift the momentum there in the fight. Seems like Team Schweppes are able to out Maywall them essentially. In fact, every time Abstract seems to get a good Maywall off, Team Schweppes are right there with it. Stelios is just on it today, able to counter it and able to peel for his tank.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, that peel for the tank is exactly what you need to do in these sort of matchups, right? The Sigma, while being able to exist for a long while, is not sort of this immortal bastion, right? You do need the help of the supports, and having a support that can come to you just exactly when you need to, right? That just sort of, it takes a layer off of what a tank has to worry about, because tanking we transitioned to 5v5 a year ago, but there's still so many nuances that we're learning about the role still to this day, just because of the amount a tank really has to do, right? You're having to create space for the team, you're having to output your own damage, look for pick potential yourself, as well as managing resources of your entire team, generally shot calling as well. It's a lot to put on a single player, so taking at least one of those worries off by having reliable supports that will heal you exactly when you need, sometimes without even calling for it, is exactly what can help a tank really prosper.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, if as you compare to Overwatch 1 back when we were 6v6, you did have that off-tank role, which really the job was to peel for the tank or the support. Especially like if you go into King's Row, right? You'd have the Rein Zarya, the Zarya always peeling for the Reinhardt, always sending out the bubbles for the aggression, but you don't have that anymore. So it really is just a tougher time for the tank, and it really is, yeah, the rest of the team just has to find a way to help them, especially when they're behind that May wall, bursting down that May wall immediately, allowing their tank to just get out of that bad situation. Obviously, before getting bursted down from the sheer damage that can come out with the May right clicks, headshots, really, the icicles just absolutely freezing you. And then obviously SXJ or the Sojourn player or Barcode, I guess in this situation, just absolutely tearing your health down. So yeah, I'm not sure really how they're gonna have to tackle this. Maybe it is just a different change of pace that we're gonna have to see from Luca and Ducio here on this Colosseo map, which we're going into shortly, into this map 4, which could be the deciding map for Team Schweppes.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is going to be just a very interesting mirror once again. SXJ, I think if we ran out on the Sombra, I might just cry, because I see Sombra as someone who plays tank, and I just absolutely weep. Just perma-hack, constantly being annoying, but luckily no Sombra in play here. We have some good, honest Sojourn rails, which are totally fair and balanced, I assure you, dear viewer, as we are heading to our lovely, lovely tunnel with all the glass.
I mean, hey, I can't say much about it. I remember before when Sojourn used to be out, the right clicks would one-shot you. So definitely better than how it used to be back then in the early days of Sojourn, when everybody was also just running Sojourn constantly. That was the meta, but I guess not much has changed since then in that regard.
Nope. I was going to say, Sojourn, she's a pretty good pick. She has the slide. She has that one-shot, or almost one-shot potential with the railgun here. Just constant damage output, as you're seeing on your screen here. It's just going to be this poke war back and forth in the tunnel until some team finds purchase, whether it be with a Maywall or just a nice little railgun like that. Barcode being the one to strike first here means that the side of Swiss, yes, you're looking at how fast they're running for their lives. They don't want to engage this one without their Sojourn at all, and this bot is going to start moving.
Oh yeah, 100%. Being able to engage from this, I mean, that's also one of the benefits of just having a Lucio on the team, being able to, you know, trigger that speed boost and push you out of the fight, or pull you out of the fight, sorry, should I say. To deny also ult charge to the enemy team. You don't want to get them building, as you can see right now. Both supports, or both Baptiste, should I say, Zarian and Luke, are coming close to their matrices.
Yes, indeed. And those amplification matrices, they've been pretty big for both teams as they use them, because it forces Maywalls to sort of create zoning spaces. Both teams are actually using those early here. So now Lamp having to be committed onto Aerial to keep them alive in this one. And the amplification matrix is going to put through the healing exactly where it needs to, though. So these dueling matrices is just going to be more back and forth on the cart here. Neither team really finding purchase as this poke war continues to go through here. Stelios, interestingly enough, has the May Blizzard online. This could be the thing that's committed, but actually it's both Fluxes committed first here. Ducio having the beat already is going to keep everybody alive, but they're not going to be able to live through the blizzard because it's just freezing everybody. SXJ is using the overclock, but I don't think anything is going to be able to be found from it. Yeah, they finally fall to Swiss Lucio jumping around their head, and this bot's going to be moving back in favor of Team Schweppes.
You know, surprisingly in that fight, seeing how far behind Swiss Lucio was on his sound barrier, I could almost guarantee that Swiss, yes, were going to come out on top of that engagement, considering Ducio already had his in mind to counter the gravitic flux. But unfortunately, Swiss Lucio is able to counter Abstract's Blizzard and then come out on top, and here we are.
Yes, indeed. And so now the overclock being popped on the other side. Barcode hasn't found anything just yet, but SXJ has found Zerion on that Baptiste. That means a lot of the healing is going to be removed here for the Team Schweppes here. So now SXJ will find Barcode as well, despite being walled off here. Swiss Lucio actually takes matters into their own hands, takes out the Baptiste on the other side here, but I think it's going to be all for naught here. 58 meters is what they're going to have to be satisfied with as this bot starts moving back towards that center point, and it moves in favor of Team Swiss, yes.
Even Stevens, yeah, coming in here. Abstract does have that Blizzard available. Luca coming close to his, but yeah, I mean, with Zarian's already there, and with the high ground to their advantage, we need to see how they're going to approach this. In fact, I mean, that's the whole aim of the game with these poke comps. You can take these high grounds, and you can even poke out on the high grounds too. That's why, you know, maps on Circuit Royale, these poke comps, especially the Sigma specifically, just comes out on top as the main tank.
Yes, indeed. Could not have said it better myself here, as now the Maze are poking back and forth, shooting those icicles off, trying to look for some purchase, and it just is not coming through here. Now the wall super far behind is creating space, I guess you could say that. Meanwhile, Amplification Matrix from Zeron is going to be thrown in here. People are dropping low, but SXJ is actually the first one to fall here at the hands of Aerial. So now the lamp being thrown in to try to keep everybody healthy through that blizzard. But instead of worrying about a blizzard, you're worried about Aerial throwing on top. It's just an ult frenzy, everything being thrown in the kitchen sink. But somehow, some way, this team in blue is not coming up with what they need here. So now Tread going to be the one to use the gravitic flux. It is going to pick up the supports, drop them down on their heads, and somehow, despite the huge investment coming out from Team Schweppes there, they don't come away with that fight. This bot keeps pushing.
Absolutely beautiful timing coming in from Ducio. And I mean, coming from the supports, really what we said we needed to see from Luca and Ducio here is coming through. And I mean, that Lucio barrier coming in just in the nick of time, so to allow Swiss CS to go in the aggression with it and almost give them this first point.
Yes, indeed, but that's going to be able to give them the checkpoint right there. That pick onto Aerial. You can't do anything without your tank in this composition unless a hero play comes out from somebody, but they're all just running to the spawn room. No heroes wanting to stick out here. That is going to be the butt scratch unlocked. Forward spawns intact as well, so now this lead is starting to get pretty substantial for the side of my goodness, Swiss, yes, as we're already re-engaging back into the next fight here. The wall's coming out just back and forth. The overclock trying to find something. Barcode not able to do it, but the rest of the team stands up when they need to. The Sigma coming up with some massive kills in the kill feed here, and despite it being a bit of a bloody back and forth, they will stop the bot at 85 meters.
And that's gotta hurt there. I mean, Barcode was the only one with an ultimate readily available. It really was his fight to win, but unfortunately did get shut down immediately, and I'm not able to find much value with it. But somehow, Team Schweppes still able to come out on top of there, even with Swiss Yes committing a fair amount.
Yes, indeed. So now the Gravitic Flux being committed from Aerial to try to regain some of this momentum and keep it rolling in their favor with the Amplification Matrix means that Ducia will be going down here. That is going to be a pretty substantial pick as this bot is continuing to move. The Sigma drops low. Tread can't get the healing needed. SXJ is going to be actually a hero in this fight, taking down both the Lucio and the Sojourn on the other side of it, but it is going to be all for naught here, just deciding to disengage, re-engage with the rest of the team.
The sheer output coming in from Zarian and from Swiss Lucio, really. I mean, Swiss Lucio was a bit overzealous there. It does get punished for his over-aggression, but Zarian's there to clean up shop. And I mean, as we mentioned earlier, the Baptiste in his hands is just absolutely deadly.
Yes, indeed. But now there's going to be a re-engaged 5-on-5 fight here on this side of the map. The Blizzard already being thrown out from Stelios here. I don't think it found anybody frozen up just yet. Luca trying to use that Amplification Matrix. And SXJ on a flank. 1 HP, quite literally 1 with the overclock. So having to hide while this ultimate just runs out slowly but surely here. And it is now just going to be the under tunnel fight here. A very small, close space that Tread's going to be dropping a Gravitic Flux into. We'll see how many people get picked up by it. And it's both the Sigma and the Baptiste down. Swiss Lucio trying to turn this one with 2 picks to his name. Can he find a third? I don't think it's going to be possible. The Lucio's doing everything he can, but Tread is just too powerful right now on the Sigma here. And it is going to be the side of Swiss Yes getting his bot back in their control.
So much value coming out of that Gravitic Flux there from Tread. Able to take down 2 players from Team Schweppes. Swiss Lucio, though, on the aggression, but it just wasn't enough. Unfortunately, just the sheer output coming in and just the sheer man advantage that Swiss Yes had in that fight just allowed them to sail on through into the final fight.
Yes, indeed. But what's not beautiful is Tread dropping low. The healing wasn't there to keep him alive. All of a sudden, you've already lost your Sigma. This bot can already be seen ready to walk back the other way. This Baptiste is lethal in the hands of Zeron and just doing more and more by the minute.
And this is why Baptiste is getting nerfed in a couple of days, because he's just doing too much in this kind of situation. We need to dial it back a bit, Zarian. Calm down there.
Oh my goodness. I mean, hey, if you're making hero plays for your team and it works, use it while you can. Now using the Amplification Matrix on the high ground, there's no one to really stop this damage coming through. So even though Ducio is using the beat, the Gravitic Flux is actually going to be committed onto those who are trying to chase down Zeron. They fell right into a trap. The trap card got activated. And so now this is going to be the butt scratch activating. Team Schweppes, as we're dipping below the 90-second mark, could take the lead here in the final map.
I'm honestly just lost for words here. Yeah, Ariel coming in with a beautiful Gravitic Flux, but Zarian, he knows what's going on here. He even just solo gave himself the Amplification Matrix there, able to boost his damage, and now the Blizzard is coming out from Stelios, able to take down Tread, and remainder of Swiss Yes will end up falling in this fight.
And what's even more tragic, you heard the horn ring out. That is going to be the lead given over to the side of Team Schweppes. You know, if they win this map, the series is theirs, the championship is theirs. So there's got to be an answer now, and it's going to be starting with this Maywall onto the Sigma here, trying to freeze him out. He is going to get frozen up, but there is going to be a lamp potentially to save the Sigma. He stays alive, barely just. Aerial healed up now. SXJ, though, finally being the hero needed with the overclock here. That's both supports taken down. Make that a third, fourth. Can it be all 5? Oh, it's going to be stolen. But now, 30 seconds on the clock. You've got to get at least you got to get more than 111 meters.
That's the hero play that they needed, really, from SXJ. He's been shut out by Team Schweppes for so long in this map and the previous maps, but he finally has had time to shine and really almost gets the ace there.
Yes, indeed. But now an ace is going to be required a few more times if the Swiss Yes wants to keep this series alive. The Gravitic Flux being committed first from Tread here, but it's stunned, and he goes down. The Sigma's gone. The Flux is coming out on the other side. Aerial is starting to turn this one back. SXJ, the hero, is down. Abstract falls. There's nothing left for this side of Swiss Yes. They all fall one by one, and the championship goes to this team, this amazing squad of Team Schweppes. They take it in solid 3-1 fashion.
Wow, Team Schweppes, I mean, rightfully deserved. They went through this winner's bracket, not dropping a single game. They dropped one map from pretty base. They dropped one map to Swiss, yes, but other than that, they've just cleaned through, and this was just, some consolidation prize here for the 6J. A beautiful overclock coming in, but it just wasn't enough, and unfortunately, they do end up falling to Team Schweppes here in this grand final. But I mean, hey, what a final we've just had to witness, and I mean, props to everybody who ended up performing in this game.
I mean, yeah, there was heroes across both teams. Both teams played an incredible match of Overwatch that I was glad to be spectator to. It was just phenomenal, but, there can only be one winner at the end of the day. And Team Schweppes, you highlighted it beautifully. They've dropped 2 maps this entire tournament. One of them was in this series. I mean, they were the favorites going into this for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Team Schweppes, well-deserved. All around, GG's to everybody playing in. I think we've had some amazing games come out today in these playoffs, and I've just been honor to cast these for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I could not agree with that statement more. Just super, super thrilled to be able to come in and cast some amazing Overwatch. It's always super hype, super fun here, but this is just our first event on the Swiss Elite Series #1. So hopefully we'll be doing a ton more of these in the future here. But at least for now, that is going to wrap it up for us. So thank you to everybody who is watching, enjoying it. But we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. Enjoy the rest of your day and have a good night.